Alrighty, people, what is happening? Hopefully you're having a fantastic Thursday where you are. It is Friday, and I can promise you, in Australia, and I can promise you that the future, it looks good. It looks good over here in the future.
It looks gloomy. A little bit rainy.
I love a rainy day. My favorite day is a rainy, cold day. As crazy as that sounds. But we do appreciate you guys for being here with us. What is up, Faulty? Sidekick, Ultra, what's up, guys? Thanks for being here. Sidekick actually said, I've been watching some of your old Dynasty videos, and I gotta say, y'all have some of the best takes on YouTube. Badaki was on the Bo Nix train way earlier than Consensus, which we love to see. I actually saw his comment just now, 6 minutes ago, on our... It was a video we did right after round 1, and we ranked the rookies. Remember that big argument we had about Michael Penix? And yeah, he said the Penix take looks good, but it was... I mean, honestly, I feel pretty proud of everything we did last year. Like, yeah, last year was one of our best years ever. From
I think we did pretty good. I think the only thing
we had Bowers a little too low.
The only thing we missed on, in the sense of not of talent but of just landing spot, was Brock Bowers. I think that's the only thing we can say collectively that we feel like, okay. I guess maybe for me the other one would probably be McMillan. I like Polk over McMillan. But, I mean...
Let's go! Come on, baby!
Yeah.
I love me some Jalen.
That's about it. That's the only one I can think of. I love Bucky. Hated the landing spot.
Yeah.
He was just better. So...
Yeah. What's up, K Mooney? Welcome in. Dynasty Rookie Draft ADP? That's a good question. Sleeper's been way behind this year. What's up, Graham? What's up, Booty Clapper? What it is, what it do. Nobody saw this level of production from Bowers. Can't blame that for yourself. Xavier Hutchinson forever. Yeah, we'll just we'll forget about it.
Quentin Johnson for.
But yeah, we have our fair share of misses, guys. Absolutely. Okay, hey, we're doing something different tonight, guys. We've never done this before, and I want to try it out. So here's the deal: there might be no one who signs up today, and that is completely fine. But we want to just do something for you guys, something a little bit different, okay? And what we're going to do tonight is the first 4 people who sign up will have their team reviewed on the same day, okay? So that means at minimum, because today's stream is for team reviews, at minimum, we are going to review, because we've already reviewed Papa Dunks. That's an offline review. But 1, 2, 3, 4. If 4 more people sign up, at minimum, we will review 8 teams tonight. Again, we've never done this. Okay. So there's a possibility no one signs up. There's a possibility that 4 people sign up and they get their team reviewed on the same exact night. That is rare, but we are getting to the point where we are getting caught up with our queue. So we are creating that option for you, okay? So if you want a team playbook, there's a couple ways to get it. The first way is by becoming a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. You'll get our rookie report. You'll get our Dynasty playbook, obviously, which will be customized to your team. You also get a free trade voucher. You unlock our complete rankings. All the premium tools on the website are... 2025 rookie report, which version 2.0, I am closing in on finishing. Like, we're getting very close to finishing the scouting part of it. And it's actually been awesome to see, because my guys in V1, which released early January, they've all been pretty much shining at the Senior Bowl, which has been great to see. That, again, I feel like I have a great pulse on the class. It's always good to have that kind of confirmation. But again, that's one way you can get your team reviewed, by becoming a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. It is the best bang for your buck, point blank, period. Now, the other option is, if you are already a member on a different promo code, or you just don't want to become a member for whatever reason, you can buy one a la carte. That's the second link in the chat, all right? And you take it to a link that looks like this. You go to Team Review. If you haven't linked up your teams yet, definitely do that with Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo, and you can create a free account with LAND as a promo code, LAND. But once you've linked it up, and by the way, if you're on an account that doesn't have Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo, you can submit screenshots and your league ID for MFL or whatever the case may be, and we can definitely still review it, give you a playbook and everything. But choose your team, make sure the draft picks are correct. Then you'll see Zach and Badaki from Fantasyland. The baseline is an offline version. Members will get a heavy discount, I think 30% off of that price. And then the live version, if you want it reviewed on the live stream is just $10 more to secure your spot on the live stream. So again, the first 4 people who sign up tonight, this is what we can promise. The first 4 people who sign up, you will have your team reviewed tonight. So that is on the table for you guys. What's up, Brizzleton? Welcome in. What's up, Donovan? Says, I have a non-Dynasty for fantasy football question I'm sure you've been asked for. When did you guys start doing YouTube full time? And what did you do before YouTube? Yeah, so we started doing YouTube full time. I'd say 2022 is when we actually started like full time streaming, good videos. We did 2021, but the videos were terrible.
We did 2021, and if you guys were with us from back in the day, if you go to our redraft channel, we were posting like hour-long podcasts, and we just did YouTube completely wrong.
Yeah, we were terrible.
So we've been on YouTube for a while. Have been, for, I think, 5 years. Been doing it right for 4.5 years now.
More like 3.5, I think.
Yeah, more like,
doing it right like 3 years actually.
Yeah, so
we learned so much.
Yeah, we have. I mean, if you can go back to our first video, and it wasn't even like, it was for our league actually.
Yeah,
like it was for our home league.
Yeah,
and we had trades that went down in our home league. We spoke about it. We broke it down.
Yeah,
good times.
Yeah, it was fun. Before that, I was working for a promotional production as a promotional producer for a TV channel, and yeah, I mean, COVID hit and we both lost our jobs. Yeah. Appreciate that, Brizzleton. Yes, we do have a like goal today of 50 likes. With your help, I know we can get there. What's up, Dylan? Dylan is going to come on every stream and tell me that my rankings are wrong on Jaden Higgins, and I love it. I would ask you, how do you not have Jack Besh ahead of him? I mean, let's watch the film together, brother. How do you not have Jack Besh ahead of him? All right, I'll ask you the same question. Who is your 2025 version of Lad? I remember you loving him last year over consensus. Yeah, my 2025 version of Lad is between 2 players right now, and that is actually either Jack Besh or Jalen Royals. It is one of those 2 names for me. I also would add Jalen Nolan to that conversation, but those 3 guys are like, are definitely in the runnings for this year's Lad McConkey. And funnily enough, they're all in my guys list, which I just showed you. Yeah, so that's funny. I mean, yeah, all in my guys list, but all guys that I think could be real impact players in the NFL. You know, I'd love to say Matthew Golden, but to be honest, I just think he's already got more hype as a first-round pick than Lad had at this time last year. How many leagues are y'all in together, and who has more bragging rights? We're in like 15 to 20 leagues together. I can't remember exactly how many. I made the playoffs in every Dynasty league except for 1 last year. So I had a pretty good year. You're rebuilding a lot of your rosters, so Dynasty's tough.
Our Dynasty league is tough for me. The redraft leagues have always been really successful. Whether it's home leagues or with, I think I made it into the top 3 in all of our redraft leagues this year, except our home league.
Yeah.
But Dynasty, I had the 112, and we did. When was that? Those Dynasty startups? 2021. And I had the one at that time. It was if you had the top 7 picks, you were chilling. After that, there was a massive fall off at the 112. So what did I do? I sold all my picks, or I sold all my picks, or I didn't get a quarterback because there was no quarterbacks at the time in 2021, and then it just went straight to shit. So I'm rebuilding in a lot of leagues.
Yeah. Dylan says he thinks he's Jaden Higgins is a Nico Collins type player. Yeah, I mean, my problem with Jaden Higgins is every time I put his film on, and this is before I knew who Jalen Noel was, and maybe this is harsh, but every time I was watching Jaden Higgins, I kept saying, who the hell is 13? I'm watching Jaden Higgins. I'm like, all right, everyone loves him. Like, everyone loves Jaden Higgins. The hype is so high, and I think he's a good player. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But I kept saying, who the hell is 13? That guy is really fun to watch. I just could not stop seeing Josh Downs, and that was Jalen Noel, who I ended up scouting even further after that. But anyway, we appreciate you guys big time, and again, we've never done this before. And I'll just say, like, Dylan says, check out his 1v1 versus Senior Bowl. I almost tweeted this out, but I didn't want to be negative Nancy. I'll just say this quickly on the Senior Bowl, guys. And I'm saying this as someone who has been talking about how much I love Tej Johnson, Jalen Knoll, Jack Besh, all these guys who are dominating the Senior Bowl, Jalen Royals. So I also need to, like, not take too much away from those drills. But just keep in mind that the one-on-one drills are really designed for the wide receiver to win out there. They're not designing these drills like, how do I say this? Like, a cornerback doesn't have a lot to lose at the Senior Bowl because it is expected they will lose most of those one-on-one reps, right? Like, it's really set up in favor of the wide receivers. But I've been really enjoying seeing Knoll and Higgins has been great too, as Dylan highlighted, and Royals has had some good plays, and Jack Besh has had some good plays. But all I'm saying is, like, let's not change our boards because of the Senior Bowl. What the Senior Bowl does for me, Badaki, is it either says, yep, I love that guy on film, and now I see everybody loves him, or everybody loves this player. I haven't dug into him enough. Let me go watch it for myself. It does not mean, okay, yes, now, for example, last year, Luke McCaffrey is now at the top of my board, right? Like, that's not how I approach the Senior Bowl. But
I think I would love to know, like, the hit rate after Senior Bowl. All these guys, like, for example, last year, I feel like it was Roman Wilson who did phenomenal Senior Bowl, got the draft capital. Where's Roman? And
he did suffer an injury, so it's tough to really, what I mean?
I understand that. I think there was a couple other people that at the Senior Bowl. I remember Tank Dell here at the Senior Bowl saying that,
and that was
great. He was running routes, and that was great. Who else was in the Senior Bowl? That
Malachi Corley was great at the Senior Bowl. Brendan Rice was great at the Senior Bowl.
What happened to Brendan Rice?
Bo Nix was, if you remember, that like you and I were having to defend Bo Nix after the Senior Bowl because he had a terrible Senior Bowl. So it's just,
I just like
it's a good environment, but I think sometimes we take too much away from it too. So anyway,
I think you just got to take it a little bit with a grain of salt, and then it's just it'll get better.
Yeah,
it'll get better.
All right, guys, do us a favor, smash that like button to show some love. Love having some conversations with you guys. Again, the first 4 people who buy a team review tonight, we are guaranteeing that we're going to review it for you on tonight's stream. Again, maybe nobody buys one. Maybe 4 people do. What I can tell you is that we already have one from Booty Clap King. So Booty Clap King has already purchased one of the extra 4 reviews that we're guaranteeing we're going to review tonight. So again, we are about to get into this thing, but if you want your team reviewed, you can either become a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND, or you can buy one a la carte. All right, I'll put that second a la carte link there in the chat. But the first 3 now that submit their teams tonight, we will review it tonight, same day, which is very rare that we get to do that. But I'm glad we got Booty Clap King in there already. 3 more names. If you want to get your team reviewed tonight, it's a good time to get it done. All right, let's go ahead and get to the first team review, Badaki. And we appreciate y'all for being here. Smash that like button to show some love. The first team review is from our Blaze.
That's Blaze. That's my dog's name. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. He says was top in points last season, bounced from playoffs in weeks 1. Made a trade in season in exchange for my first, the 108, for what became the 105.
Nice.
Thinking with the 2-point tight end premium. So this is
it shows that at the bottom, which is great. 1 tight end premium, which means 2, right? So that's great.
Sure. Warren might be playing. That's 1 tight end premium. I was like, that's a little bit confusing, but I understand what they did.
The premium is on top of the PPR.
Is on top of the point already. Yeah, exactly. Warren might be the player based on draft. What can I do to take it to the next level? You guys are the best. Thank you. We appreciate you.
And let me just message all these people and tell them that we're reviewing their teams tonight, just so they know.
And you are live on the site.
Yes, I am live.
Okay, awesome. I just want to double check that. But you're currently ranked 3rd out of 12 according to Zach rankings, and this is a 2-quarterback 12 team start 11, which means this is rolling deep, meaning you can start up to 6 wide receivers or 6 running backs in that flex spot, which depth is going to be pretty significant in this lineup here.
Yeah, so it's rolling deep, super flex, you said? Yeah, I'll just put that in the chat so we're all there. But yeah, you're right. It's a deep lineup. Let's keep that in mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, so let's have a look at this team. Once again, you are ranked 3rd out of 12. All right, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones, the list goes on. 2 good quarterbacks at the top there. Let's see what happens with Russell Wilson when he does, if he's going to re-sign with the Steelers or not. But so far, so good at the quarterback position. At the running back position, Saquon, James Cook, Monty, Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson, Najee Harris. This is a good running back room. The depth is really good here, which is important in a rolling deep league. Once again, 6 wide receivers or 6 running backs.
Focus, but it is a good room.
At the wide receiver room, CeeDee Lamb, Waddle, Mooney, Cedric, Deontay, and the list goes on. So you stacked at the running back room, but really only have 3 wide receivers you can start on a week-to-week basis from the wide receiver room. And at a 2-point tight end premium, you don't have a tight end we can rely on here.
No. He has a 105, which is why he was probably talking about Tyler Warren.
Which would make sense, especially at the draft capital here.
Let's think through the starting lineup, Badaki, because you've got Burrow, Prescott, then Saquon, Cook, then CeeDee, Waddle, and then I guess Otton. Pitts really failed you, but you still need to start 4 players now. So that would be Monty, Derrick Henry, Mooney, and then I guess Brian. Like Tillman or Najee, Tillman or Brian Robinson, one of those names. We have our 105, which is good. We have our picks in 2026. This, I'm struggling to see how it's not a Windows open. Based off the running back room, it feels very Windows open-y to me from a pathway perspective. A lot of veterans in that lineup. I think we need to add a wide receiver and a tight end, but I don't even know if we have the assets to do so. I mean, honestly, Badaki, we might need to tear down from Lamb for this team. I think we need to tear down from Lamb. We need really 2 quality players, and using that 105 maybe on a tight end, considering the premium.
I mean, a tight end's really going to be pushed up at the 105 there.
And a full point premium, yeah.
So Ashton, Amarion, Tet, Luther, and then you go tight end, I guess. I guess it depends on the landing spot.
I think you could see tight ends go ahead of Luther, ahead of a lot of these running backs. I mean, think about it from this perspective. Brock Bowers last year, tight end 1, and he had 262 PPR points, but he had 112 receptions. So if you add 112 to 262, then he really averaged 22 points per game as a rookie in this format, in a full point premium format.
Yeah, so that's fair.
It's a big game changer if you get some sort of impact.
Tied in there. Okay, sure. Look, I'm not against it. I'm not against getting a tight end. I was just realistically trying to work out where I almost wonder if we would go.
I almost wonder if we can tear down from the 105. Anyway, let's go through the process here. I think this is a Windows open. I think the untouchables would be Lamb and Burrow. I am going to suggest to sell Lamb in a second, though. And as far as your holds, I think that is a Jalen Waddle. I think that's a Dak Prescott, especially considering the type of pathway we're taking here. I think another great hold, man, Noah Gray feels like a good hold on this team. And then I would say Saquon Barkley because of the path we're taking. There's no reason to sell him. As far as drops, you can probably drop Adam Thielen if you wanted to, but maybe you drop Jalen Hyatt first for sure, and then Devin Leary. Those are the 2 names you can definitely drop. Sorry. But all right, let's go to the chalkboard, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, if you stick and pick at the 105, again, because of the premium, you're looking at a Tyler Warren, a Colson Loveland. You know, depending on draft capital, landing spot, you know, those are options. But you've also got your Luther Burdens as options at this point. Your Hamptons, right? It really depends on exactly what the draft looks like. Your Caleb Johnsons, your Travion Hendersons. I don't know if you saw I mean, you made the graphics, Badaki, but in today's Superflex mock draft that I released, I had Travion Henderson at the 102. I mean,
he
because
went to the Bears.
There was a specific scenario where he went to Chicago, and I couldn't stop thinking about how incredible that was for him. Yes, that's right, Cody. If you buy one today, a live one today, it will get reviewed today, my friend. And there's 3 more people who can buy a live review and get it reviewed on today's stream. Booty Clap King already bought the first out of that 4 slots that we have. But yeah, and by the way, Booty Clap King says Bowers went at the 106 in his 2-point premium league last year. I'm not really opposed to like the idea of trading back. If you don't think that tight ends are going to go that early, I'm really not opposed to trading back, even if it means I get Loveland instead of Warren.
Well,
right?
yeah.
So like, let's say hypothetically, right? The 105 has to be Tyler Warren, but at the 109 or the 108, you can get Colson Loveland, assuming they both get first round draft capital, right?
100%. And this is kind of where I was going to lean. Like,
okay.
If somebody is in love with Tyler Warren in that landing spot, and you're really content, like let's say Loveland goes to a landing spot like Bowers last year that we weren't really in love with, and like, damn, it's gonna drop him down in value in the first round. Why don't you trade back, still get that first round tight end, and get some value on top of that?
If possible, I really, really like that idea.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page, which is great. But obviously, I mean, there's the hypothetical includes them both getting first round draft capital and relatively equal landing spots. But let's say Tyler Warren is a first round pick and he goes to the Chargers, which we all love, or the Broncos. And then Loveland is like a last round pick to the Eagles or something in the first. And we're like, just don't know how Loveland breaks out with all those names. You know what I mean? So there is a hypothetical here, but let's see if we can trade back in that range. Let's start with the 106. And, you know, because depth is so important. Oh, you can now search for the picks. That's great, but it didn't come up. But Aki, can you make a note of that for me real quick to the devs? When you search for individual picks on team reviews, it doesn't take you to the pick, if that makes sense. If you can do that for us, that would be great. Just so I can keep looking at his team. The 106 is J.K. Wangle. JKW Angel, maybe. And he has limited tiered down options, I'll be honest. I am not opposed to doing like a tier down for the 206 or Fields, considering how big this starting lineup is. I don't think you get both of them, but if you can get a Justin Fields, who might end up being the starter for Pittsburgh this coming season, if you can get the 206, if you can get Coker in the 206, that's even more ideal. Like some move like that, it has to be worth your time. You know what I mean? And we do officially have Cody, who is in the books. That is our second guaranteed review on today's stream. So Cody, we will be reviewing your team tonight. We have 2 more slots of if you buy a team review, it gets reviewed tonight. Okay. But what about David Njoku, Badaki? I mean, I would really like to go to the 106 and get David Njoku, and in a 2-point premium, we're going to have to pay on top. But would you not send, like, I just think this opens up so much flexibility. Would you not send a Brian Robinson, you know, to seal that? This would have to be a deal that would happen in draft, because there would have to be a real demand. But anyway, that's an idea.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The 107, let's find. Well, we have the 108 here, which is Green Machine. He already has Brock Bowers. The 108. Would you go 108 and This is a toughie. Maybe the 202 plus downs or something.
108, 2 and 2 plus downs. 108, 202 plus. I mean, I still like Shakira. I'll go Shakira as well.
Yeah, I would prefer that as well. I think that.
I think I might prefer
tougher.
that over. Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
So that's an option. All right. Who has the or like the classic, by the way? Like the classic is always an option where you get a future first, right? Let's make that clear.
Sure.
That's just probably not. I mean, I would even send both of your third rounders to get that done if that puts it over the top for whatever reason, right? Okay, so and then who has the 107? That's the only other thing I think we could tear down to. That would be Portray. Okay, team 5. What about the 107 and the 110? Just straight up. I think I would give, again, like I would give all my thirds to get that done. 107 plus the 110. If that's possible, no doubt I'd do that.
Yeah, the signing premium, so 105.
What about the 107 in both seconds? 107 plus the 201 plus the 203. I would do, in how deep this league is, I would do that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as well.
So lots of options there, but again, this is that hypothetical where you can land Colston Loveland deeper down the board than you can Tyler Warren. The other hypothetical is, I mean, what if we just land a tight end already in the league? I mean, would you send the 105 for? You can't get Trey McBride, obviously, but would you send it for Laporta? Given this league,
I mean, yes, I would. I don't think Laporta is going to be worth that. I mean, I don't think you can get the 105 for Laporta, or even if you were to add the Brian Robinsons or your second or whatever the case may be.
You're saying he's worth more than the 105.
Yeah, especially in a premium.
Yeah, let's leave it at that then. These are all great ideas. I think
because we know the tight end position just drops after. Really, it drops after Trey McBride and Brock Bowers. Laporta is like on his tier of his own right now, in like this weird limbo of like, okay, is he gonna come back to that? And then the rest he just drops.
So with CeeDee Lamb, I definitely think he's a tier down option for us. I really don't think you can tear down to the Pukas, Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomases. I just don't think that's possible. I could be wrong, but I think if you're going to tear down, I think it has to be like Nico Collins, Drake London. Those are the names where I think you actually make a difference. Marvin Harrison, Lad McConkey.
Okay.
I just don't think anyone's giving you Puka in a first. I don't think anyone's giving you Neighbors in a first. I just don't see that happening. JSN, even AJ Brown, we could do. Garrett Wilson, because we're a win now right now. So those are your serious tear down options. So let's look at the team that has Nico Collins.
Nico.
Which would be team 4. And this is a tougher team, I think, to do a tier down with because they're already so depleted.
Yeah, they don't even have picks in the future.
I think it'd have to be like Nico Brees, but I just don't think it happens here. I'll put it there, but I don't think it happens. And even then, like, I'm not obsessed with the idea.
I'll be okay with like Nico and Chuba personally. Like that's basically you're getting Nico in the late first. But I don't know, maybe.
Let's add Jonnu Smith to it as a throw-in. I'm not really obsessed with that idea, just in general for Nico, but we'll give it as an option. Drake London. So Drake London is on team 6. He has London Rice in the 101. What about London Rice in the 109?
I just feel like, I mean, look, I would love to get that deal done. I just don't know if that's, I was just thinking London like the 109. I don't know if you can get 3 for ones. But you can throw
That
throw
feels
somebody
like
at him.
that feels a little underselling CeeDee Lamb
Let's see what Keep Trade Cut says
to
about that.
me.
Hold on. Let's just see Nico for CeeDee Lamb and Rice.
Well, it's not Nico though.
Sorry, London. I apologize. So that Rice on London trade just for CD says that you're winning on Keep Trade Cut.
Okay. I mean, interesting.
Let's see what our flock says.
Well, I have no problem with London 109. I just feel like you're underselling CeeDee Lamb at that point.
So CD, London, and Rice, and then it says. So it says on the flock website that we lose.
I would not sell CeeDee Lamb for London in the 109. Would you really do that trade?
And the 109. Let's just see. Let's see what the
I'm
109
more just asking you, like, I would not send CeeDee Lamb away for London in the 109, a late first in a relatively weak class.
I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying I don't think.
Well, this is where a calculator just doesn't understand the value of it.
Exactly, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if we were to put that other person's going to be like, oh yeah, well, let's try it.
Yeah, I mean, look, in a tear down, you only ever tear down if you get the value you actually want. Wyatt says, I moved CD in a second for Puka and 2 firsts when Puka got injured. That would have been in season. I don't know, like, personally, if the best offer I get is London in the 109, I'm not willing to tear down.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Like, I just don't think that's worth your time. But that's just my opinion, you know.
I'm just seeing what that says.
Let's look at Marvin. Keep trade cut. I just don't think it's gonna be helpful in a CD trade.
And then
they really are. They're historically bad at valuing elite assets. You know.
100%. I'm looking at both, and CD on Flock. CD for Rice and London says that you lose that trade.
Would you trade CD for Marvin Laporta and Terry?
Marvin Laporta, Terry. Yeah, I'll be okay with that, especially in the premium.
It's a full point premium league. I mean, the other way you could go is, you could ask for, like, Josh Jacobs and Marvin Harrison, and maybe you could throw on top a Jalen Warren or something, you know, like a throw in there. And again, I hear what you're saying, Badaki. I'm just saying to our Blaze, if someone's going to send you a screenshot 100%. Of Keep Trade Cut, which is historically terrible at valuing elite assets, then you're not going to get a trade done with them. Like, someone needs to overpay.
I completely agree. And I think the reason why, I mean, obviously we use both Flock and Keep Trade Cut, but I know a lot of people still use Keep Trade Cut as the Bible, and that's the first thing that they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to put that on Keep Trade Cut and be like, dude, I'm losing this. Like, this is stupid. Why would I do this trade?
Yeah.
They're probably going to be like, well, if you throw your second for CD Lamb for Drake London and Rice, I'll do it. You're going to be like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
But yes, I get what you're saying.
Would you do McConkey, Wilson, and maybe the 112 if you throw in Brian Robinson? I don't even know if that's possible, but that's like the upper end. The lower end is just Lab McConkey and Garrett Wilson.
Well, if it's not the 112, then can you do Rome and then do Brian Robinson?
So instead of Garrett Wilson, Rome Odunze?
Well, I was thinking instead of... Oh, yeah, either way. Or you can swap the 112 because if you don't feel like the 112 is enough, can that be Rome
okay, right. So you're saying...
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that would mean the 112 is as valuable as a Garrett Wilson or Rome Odunze, which I don't think we would see.
Yeah, you're right.
Again, we want to shoot for the stars in the tear down, gang. Okay. The other option was JSN, which I think we already saw that JSN team. I'd rather look at AJ Brown because I think that's actually a good tear down. People want to sell AJ Brown right now, you know? Like in AJ Brown, Hawkinson 107. Is that possible? Is that too much? People want to sell AJ Brown right now. And if that's too much, we can remove Hawkinson. Maybe Hawkinson is what's going to hold that up. I mean, I would even do that for the 110. But if that's too much, let's remove TJ Hawkinson. Let's add the 110 and the 107.
107, yeah. That's what the reason why I'm hesitant on TJ, I think there's a good trade. I want to do the TJ Hawkinson. I just think it's the premium.
Yeah, I agree.
The premium is going to be significant for TJ.
Yeah. Holy shit,
like,
we've spent so much time on this review. We have so many ideas. Honestly, I think that's about all the ideas that we can offer. But I feel like I love the AJ Brown trade because everybody wants to trade him right now. It's a start 11 league, so he needs depth desperately. And AJ Brown and CeeDee Lamb aren't really that far apart in age anyway. Like, seriously, let's think about it for a second. AJ Brown is 27 and a half. CeeDee Lamb is 25 and a half. There's 2 years between these guys. It's not like you're getting like Malik Neighbors or something, and I don't know. Anyway, I really like that AJ Brown deal. I think we both really love the idea of tearing down from the 105. I think our favorite was probably the 107 in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Is there two you wanted to highlight here that I haven't highlighted?
Let's just do one of the CeeDee Lamb ones with like Sam Laporte and Terry.
Okay.
And then let's do another 105. Let's do 105 and Shakira.
Yeah, I like that.
See if we can get that one done. The only thing we need to do is draft capital grade and overall team grade, which I don't think, unless you said it, I didn't hear.
Yeah. Overall team grade we didn't give out yet, actually. Did we? I don't think we did, actually.
No, I don't think we did.
No. All right. Overall team grade.
I think this is like
It feels like a B flat.
Yeah, B flat. I would say B flat, B minus. That's
B minus because of the depth. But if you make some of these trades, I think it could be B plus.
And then draft capital. Obviously, you have your first and.
It's not like outstanding though. I'd say B minus draft capital. But yeah, this was a fun team to review. I think we gave a ton of ideas, a ton of direction, and I am very happy with the information we have provided. So,
yeah.
Appreciate you, R Blaze. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support, my friend. And your team playbook, Badaki's going to be working on it, and it will be in your message tab within 72 hours, and it'll be completely customized to everything we talked about today. Now, I can report that we currently have just 2 spots available. All right, we said this at the beginning of the stream, but at the beginning of the stream, we said the first 4 people who sign up, we're going to guarantee the review tonight. All right, 2 people have already signed up, so there are 2 open slots. If you want your team reviewed tonight, then now's a great time to sign up. You can either become a yearly Motherflocker member with the promo code LAND. That is the best bang for your buck. Of course, you can't be on a trial and get a review, right? You got to skip that trial. But you got a rookie report. You get a free trade question voucher, which is typically like $10, if I'm not mistaken anyway. You unlock our complete rankings, and you get discounts on any future a la carte purchases. Now, if you're on a promo code with a different, creator and you want to buy one a la carte, I'll put that link there in the chat for you now. But just make sure you purchase the live tier if you want it live streamed. And, if someone wants an offline review, by the way, today, we will work on it today, and it will just be sent to you within 72 hours. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. So, Booty Clap King says, just letting y'all know how much time y'all put into this. Got a review from a different creator and was over within 5 minutes. I thought I was just highlighting that we put a lot of care and attention into it, but I appreciate that. That's very kind.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I know everyone else does great work too, but obviously we like to show a little loving to our peoples. All right. Next review. NW Peel, I think is the name.
NW Peel, yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Let's break down this team. Let's read this context. It says, clearly my team is weak at wide receiver and tight end, but strong at running back. 2025 will be the third year of Dynasty Startup League, and I have the 6th pick in each round. I'm looking for some offseason trades or draft targets to elevate my team in the playoffs this year. Okay, and your team is Poppy Peel, High Heel, yeah. And you're currently ranked 8th out of 12. This is a 12-man league, a 2-quarterback start, 10 half PPR, which means it's a middle ground. 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs.
And it's
2
not
wide
like,
receivers, and 2
even though
flex.
you're ranked 8th, there's not really that big of a difference between 8 and even 4 overall. So just keep that in mind. You're not that far behind, but let's go ahead and
look at this team.
read his team out.
Yeah, Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson there. So
It's all right.
it's all right. It's all right. Look, I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy, but I do believe Liam Cohen, maybe they can
Oh boy,
screw something up.
come on, Liam. If you did it for
Duval.
Baker, you can do it for Trev.
Duval. Anyway,
Duval.
Duval. Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Kyron Williams. I think this is a great running back room. Have the depth there
Very
as
good running back
well.
room.
Having Kyron at the wide receiver position, you can start up to 5 wide receivers or 5 running backs.
Uh-oh.
Marvin Harrison Jr., Jalen McMillan, Keon Coleman, the Baba Yaga himself, and honestly, the list just goes on. So you are weak at wide receiver, and you are weak at tight end, like you did mention with Kyle Pitts, how the mighty have fallen.
Never even got to be mighty. It was only mighty in our minds. So let's think about the starting lineup for a second. Badaki, start 10. It would be Nix, Trevor, that's 2. It'd be Gibbs, Breece, that's 3 or 4. It'd be Marvin, Jalen, I guess, that's 6. No tight end worth talking about. Maybe Kyle, that's 7.
And then
we still need to start
spot.
3. So Kyron, and then after that, it's like, what do we do?
So
I really don't think this is
gaps.
a very strong team overall, if I'm honest with you. Like, I love Bo Nix. Hopefully you draft him because of our love for him last year. The Kirk Cousins debacle, the Russell Wilson situation, talks about him going to Las Vegas and linking up with Pete Carroll. But overall, I'm not sure. I don't think this team is in a very great spot, if I'm honest with you. I
mean, I completely agree. I feel my instant thought is, like, let's just walk through it hypothetically really quick. At the 106, you get a wide receiver and you still have a hole.
Yeah.
Well, actually, hold on. We could talk this team up a little bit though. 106, he gets Luther. He has Marvin, Jalen, Luther.
Still has to flex Keon Coleman. That's best case scenario if no one gets injured.
Or at the 20, he hits at the 206. That's a big ask.
No.
That's a big ask.
I'd
say this could be a good move, a good team, if we trade the player that we don't want to trade.
Jahmyr Gibbs?
That's where I'm at right now. So if we sell Jahmyr Gibbs for 2 players in a pick, you tear down at running back, you get another wide receiver, you draft a wide receiver. This could be a 1-year punt. Could be.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I kind of lean that direction. The only issue with the 1-year punt is you have to sell a young player.
I know. I get that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
To keep it in a 1-year punt without making it a full rebuild. Because in reality, full rebuild, you're going to sell Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, the difficult part in a full rebuild is who do you sell outside of Gibbs?
Exactly. You don't want to sell Bo Nix.
I kind of agree. Like, it's a 1-year punt, and if you make the right trade, it could turn into a sleeper. But I think it's a 1-year punt. There's no tight end premium, by the way. Okay, untouchables would be Jahmyr Gibbs. And I'd say your future first pick. But we are going to probably tell you to sell Jahmyr given the current climate, the current economy, and this economy that you're living in. Now, as far as holds, I think McMillan is a fantastic hold. I think Trevor is a fantastic hold, given the changes at coaching there. And he's just undervalued right now. You can drop Little Jordan Humphrey. You can drop Israel Abanikanda. You can drop Hendon Hooker. You can drop Andre. You want to hold Andre, but you can drop Kenneth Gainwell. Those are all easy drops. Okay, so draft capital, grade. I mean, it's a B flat. There's nothing. It's about as mid as it gets. Definition of mid. They're all the 206, all the 106, 206, 306, 406, and our future first. It's a mid B. The team grade overall. I don't want to be harsh, but I do think this is C territory, and I would probably say C minus. I might be being generous with the C minus.
Look, I think this team, like I said, I could talk this team up, but at the same time, I can also say that this team is not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
At the optimism, or is optimistic? Anyways, I am an optimistic person, so I do believe things could go your way in a team like this. But
we're playing good cop, bad cop right now, and I'll be bad cop.
Unfortunately, you just have to make. Yeah, you have to. You have to sell Jahmyr Gibbs, but you can get a bag for Jahmyr. That's a great thing right now.
Yeah, you definitely should be able to. Okay. I think C minus. And by the way, if you're coming to us for a review, I hope you're looking for honesty and transparency, and that's what we can offer. And I think it's a C minus team. I don't think it's in a great spot. I think we need to do a lot of tweaking. So
this is a 1 year punt.
Yeah.
Correct.
Let's start with the 106. If you were to stick and pick, I mean, maybe you land a Burden, which could be very helpful. Maybe Igbuka gets great draft capital, but you probably are going to end up with a running back being the BPA, which is fine because maybe that helps us sell Gibbs with a little more confidence.
Yeah, which is great. Come on, talk it up. Talk it up. You sell Gibbs, you don't have to draft. You don't have to sell for a running back or trade him away for another running back. You can just trade him away for 2 stud wide receivers, get some draft capital. We back in it, baby. As
far as your second round pick, you're really in a position like, the Neal, the Giddens, the Brashard Smith, who's really shining at the Senior Bowl, which is great to see. Dylan Sampson, Scadaboo, Woody Marks, and then the Golden Royals range. But I mean, let's just play hypothetically. Like if you land, let's say you land Burden and Neal, and then we end up tearing down from Gibbs, we still have Brees and Kyron, which is fantastic. We add Burden to the wide receiver room. Maybe Marvin takes another step. Yeah, I mean, I can see a pathway. The issue is you really can't trade back from anything. I really see you sticking and picking here. I don't think it's a legitimate option. So let's talk about a Jahmyr Gibbs tear down, or even like it doesn't even have to be a tear down. We can actually just go to wide receiver and tear down.
And exactly,
and
we can just
go Kyron.
100%, and then once again draft one of the best BPA at the 106 if one of those guys do fall to you, which I think is a good pathway.
Yeah, WG said, Dynasty, come to us to shit on your team. All right, let's keep going, shall we? All right.
Who needs running back?
So yes, who's a team that's good but needs running back? I mean, how about Stoop Dog? That's perfect.
Nope.
The issue is
he has the 101.
The issue is like there's really no asset where you tear down. It's hard to tear down from the 101 or to the 101 or Chase or Neighbors, and no one else is even worth talking about here. I mean, we could do like would you do? Fuck, it just doesn't work, does it? I mean, even 101 and Flowers doesn't feel good.
I want to get minimum 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, it's not going to work
from this.
Let's go to Wizard Sleeves. How about Nico? Damn it, bro! Where's the depth in any of these teams? Could we do Nico the 111 in a future first?
Nico 111 in the future first. So that could be a Mika at the 111. That could be another tight end at the 11. That gives you more flexibility of not having to draft a running back at the 106. If the wide receivers do have some good draft capital, that's okay.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I kind of would want like a throw on if we did a deal like this. Like I'd want like the 211 as well to make me feel a little bit better.
I would say Darnell Mooney over 211, but yeah, I'm happy to go there.
But in a 1 year punt though, I mean Mooney's never going to be more valuable than a second rounder. I'd rather have a lottery ticket. But look, either way, is fine.
I think either way is fine. I'm not going to fight over that.
I'll fight you, bro. I'll fucking fight you. Put your fucking hands up. How about we could go the Lab McConkey route if we went Lab McConkey, the 112. The issue is I feel like I'd rather go Lab McConkey and then two future first.
Exactly. Lab McConkey 1 or 2, like the 26 and 27.
Yeah, not the 112.
Not the 112. Sure. I'm happy with that.
How about Nasty Boys? I've been a nasty boy. Has, let's say, like Olave 105 in the future.
Yep, I'm okay with that. That's a good one.
I like an Adunze 103 107.
Yeah, 103 107, and then you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, then you if you make this move, you actually turn into a sleeper pathway. Okay. I like all these ideas a lot, actually. And it's a start 10. It's not like you have to be that top heavy. I'm not sure
the Rome one is my favorite one for sure.
Yeah, the Rome one makes a ton of sense. I'm not sure there's really another team that really sticks out to me.
Let's go to the top here. He has Bucky Josh Jacobs. CD Rice.
I mean, would you go Achan Wilson?
Where you at? Where's Achan? Okay, Achan Wilson.
I'm not sure that really achieves the exact goal you have in mind.
Yeah, it would. That would be tough. And then, I mean, if we were to do that trade, then we sell Achan just for a straight swap type of wide receiver.
Yeah.
Or like a 2-for-1 type of wide receiver again. You know, like an Adunze plus, or I don't know, a DJ Moore plus.
Yeah.
Along those lines. I mean, I would do. I doubt you can do Brock Bowers. You can't do Brock Bowers. I think that would just be an even swap trade, maybe.
No, yeah, it would just would not work. People are asking, why does he need to move Jahmyr Gibbs? Guys, let's look at his wide receiver room. You tell me why he needs to move Jahmyr Gibbs. Come on, guys. We're looking at a team that is starting Devon Vele in their flex spot, guys. Let's be realistic.
And I think this might be a misconception on
even if they hit at the 106, they are starting a player that is worthless, and you're not taking into account any injuries at all throughout the entire season. I don't see a pathway forward for this team. Like, guys, let's be honest. We're really gonna compete with this team right here. Daniels, Mayfield, Bucky, Jacobs, Kamara, Lamb, Rice, Smith, Jameson, Williams, Laporta. I know we all want to keep Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's be honest, though. Come on, This is the okay. So I see people say sell Kyron Williams for what? Kyron Williams is not going to net you anywhere near the Gibbs return. Brees is someone that you should have sold last year. Marvin is not a sellable piece. Trevor's not a sellable piece. We want to build around Bo Nix. That is why Jahmyr Gibbs is the only option on this team.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sell Kyron for the 103 plus something. That's Kyron Williams is not even worth that.
Tej says he needs to be getting way more for Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs for Adunze, the 103 and the 107. Guys, are we underselling Gibbs with that? Gibbs for Collins, 2 firsts, and the 211. Are we underselling Gibbs? Please tell us if we are, because of course we want to give this guy the biggest return possible. Let us know if we're underselling him. H.N. Wilson. Let's look at what else that guy had. He also had like the 108, but I don't think we have really any middle ground. Would you actually, I'd love to do 108, and then what we can do here, Badaki, is also offer our 306 at first. If that doesn't get accepted, then we can also come back and settle for the 206.
Yeah, I'll just be okay with the 206.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, obviously start low, work your way up.
Bruce City says yes. Does that mean we're underselling Gibbs right now, guys, or are we overselling? Because I feel like this is pretty fair value here. Like, if we're suggesting a team to do a 1-year punt and they can net a Dunze 103 and the 107, I think that's best case outcome.
What is if we're underselling based off of this trade? What else do we need to add on?
Let us know.
Because if you're telling us to add on another player, depending on the player's name, we might be like, dude, you might be asking for too much. We get Jahmyr Gibbs.
You also could be putting yourself in a position in a league where you send an offer and you don't even get a reply from someone, and then they're mentally like, I'm not trading with that guy. You know, I think you have to. A good trade is a trade where both people are slightly unhappy. You know, I love a Bucky Irving trade though. I think he is someone where you can really, depending on the owner, you can really net a great return. Some people don't value him as high as the 108. Some people like me value him as high as the 104 to the 105. So can you get Bucky? Would you go Bucky, Rice, and the 109? I'm not sure that's enough, but that kind of feels like the sweet spot there. I'd love to extend it to add the 110 and we can send them the 206.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That feels hot. And
Super hot fire, kid.
If you hate Bucky Irving, you're gonna say, "What the hell are you doing here?" So,
super hot fire, bro.
By the way, we're communicating with the chat because we wanna give the best review to NWPIEHL. That's what we want to do. That is our goal here, right? So, you guys, we're communicating with y'all because ultimately we want this person to have the best review possible. But I don't think. I don't know. I could be stupid, but I don't think we're underselling him. I think those are your main options. Yeah, you could go like options. McBride 104 Ayuk or something.
I think.
But that feels like asking too much. But the chat could tell me I'm not getting enough here. Yeah. Again, I look at his team. I don't see any wiggle room. Like, if we just stick and pick, we're going to be stuck in mediocrity, in my opinion. We'll be the 5th to 8th best team in this league if we just stick and pick. And then you have to ask yourself, well, how do I change this team? Kyren Williams is not valued in a position where you sell him high right now. He's about where he should be. Breece Hall, not many people really want to trade for him, and if they do, they want a discount. Marvin Harrison, you would sell at a discount right now. Kyle Pitts is worth nothing. Trevor Lawrence is a buy low, so I just don't know where else you go. That's the direction I would take this team. And let's play out this world, Badaki. All right, so let's say he actually does net a Dunze, and then at the 106 he goes Burden. He gets Devin Neal, okay, and then he spends the 103 on Travion or Omarion Hampton, the 107 on Travion Henderson.
Omarion or Tet, sure.
So essentially, we would have turned Jahmyr Gibbs plus the 106.
107.
Well, he has a 106.
He has a 106.
We would have turned that into Roma Dunze. We would have turned that into Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson,
and then the 107.
and Luther Burden, which we talked about, right? As the option there at the 106.
I mean, hell, he can't even get a tight end there if it's not Luther Burden. If he didn't want to, you can even swap that.
But this is
Got
the
Chrome.
but this is the hypothetical world. You know what I mean? In a 1-year punt, I don't really know that you can net a better return than this for the current goals we have. You add a Dunze and Burden to a wide receiver room that has Marvin Harrison. Well, looks a lot better now for the future, doesn't it? Marvin, Adunze, Burden, McMillan now becomes your number 4. Your running back room, I get it. You lose Gibbs, but you add Hampton and Henderson, along with Breece Hall and Kyron Williams. I mean, shoot, you can even take it a step further in season. If Breece Hall starts popping off, you can sell him for a wide receiver as a 1-year punt, you know? I don't know. I feel pretty proud of the outcome we've offered this guy.
We talked it up. Come on, man. You were starting off to be, this is a terrible team. Look how we got through this. We're here. Look at us now.
I really like the McBride deal as well. Is there another one you want to highlight before we move on? I mean, Nico Collins is netting a huge return, I think.
Yeah, Nico. And let's just do those. I do like the lad and the 2 future first if you're just going to punt it for the next couple of years. But yes.
All right. Well, hey, and by the way, we appreciate y'all being part of the chat. Hopefully no one's offended by us like challenging the, we want to give the best return possible, and we want to give the fairest offers possible. Cody says, yeah, I love it for him. Just worry about a Dunze owner is in the same boat. And definitely not every team is going to work out.
Yeah.
Travis D with the super chat. He says, just traded Derrick Henry, Adams, and Debo for Puka. So you basically turned all of... This is like when you
senior center. What
happened is you had Madden 21, you had FIFA 22, and you had NBA 2K19. And you took all of it to GameStop. And they said, here's the unreleased version of Madden 26. You're welcome. That's basically what you just did. So congratulations. That's fantastic return.
Honestly, I was just happy to get like $5 to $6 for Madden. It's like, all right, yeah, just put it to the next game.
Yeah, they ripped us off hardcore. GameStop knew exactly what they were doing.
And you thought you were getting $5 discount, $7 discount. So that's okay.
We already did Papa Dunk's review offline, but as far as NW Peel, he will get his team playbook within 72 hours. It will be completely customized to everything we talked about today. And of course, he'll get notified of his review that it is finished. But again, guys, if you're out there, I'll just double check. But yes, we still have 2 spots. There's no pressure at all. But, we haven't done this before. But basically, the next 2 people who sign up, they get a guaranteed review tonight. So if you want to sign up and get a review on the same day, today is the day to do that. You can either become a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. That is the best bang for your buck. You get the team playbook. You get the review, you get the rookie report, you get a free trade voucher, unlock rankings, premium tools, all the databases. Now, the other option, if you want to get a review, is to buy one through the a la carte store. All right. And if you do that, just make sure you choose the live tier as the option. Doesn't matter which way you want to do it. They're all great options. Now, here's what I'll say. When we started the stream, we said the first 4 people. We've already had 2 people sign up. So if 2 more people sign up, those slots are gone. But yeah, it is available to you. Let's have a look here. Tej says, I feel like you're undervaluing Kyron. Yes, his draft capital isn't great, but I don't see quorum affecting him. He's in a great offense, very young. Look, it doesn't matter what I think of Kyron Williams. I don't see how the market right now for Kyron Williams is giving this guy any flexibility to move him to change his roster. So
no, I get you. I mean, you have to look at, yeah, and Zach is right. You're selling the RB1, or you're going to be selling the RB8. So can you go? Essentially, what we asked for in that trade was Bucky Irving. Bucky is actually higher.
He should be ranked higher.
It's higher than Kyron Williams, and we're still getting tremendous value.
How do you make an impact to this team with Kyron Williams at RB8? Again, the whole point of tiering down is that you have this tier 1 asset where you can change the complete direction of your team with. Kyron's going to get you a single first-round pick. Yeah. I just don't know how we would achieve the goal we had in mind, but I can respect the opinion for sure.
Yeah, no question. Appreciate you, brother. But we are going to the next team review?
Yes, we are going to the next team review. That is...
Garcia Bros.
And
he has a lot of context here. Okay, so let's have a look. It says the league survived its first year. This past year, I went through a complete rebuild. I don't know what to do now. People are interested in early picks, but the value they put on the board isn't enough. I'm holding all picks until the day of our rookie draft. Thoughts? Well, that is a good move. You hold all your rookie picks.
He's the
You wait and
commissioner.
see. And you are the commissioner. Okay, so let's have a look at this team here. You're currently ranked third out of 10. It is a 10-man league. It is a
lot of draft
two-quarterback.
capital. That's fun to see.
A 2-quarterback 10-team start 10 with a 0.5 tight end premium, which in my personal opinion doesn't really make that big of a difference in a tight end premium.
Makes a difference, but it's not foundationally different.
Yeah.
It's not like
So, start 10. I'm not bending my back and trying to get a tight end because it's a tight end.
Do you typically bend your back over?
You know, for certain people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that makes sense. All right, continue.
But let's have a look at this team. The commissioner. As I'm writing that down. Okay. Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud, Geno Smith. Good quarterback room. At the running back position, Jahmyr Gibbs, Cam Akers, Emmanuel Wilson. So you need an RB2. That's okay. We're going to have a look at that because you have the 101, which is awesome. Remember, you can start up to 5 wide receivers or 5 running backs. Richie Rich, Lad McConkey, Jordan Addison, Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, and the list goes on there. So you don't have the strongest tight end room. You have some guys that you can be throwing in there and compete, but not the strongest.
Wait a damn second. For a rebuild? Look at this team. For a rebuild?
With trade, he was rebuilding last year, so I don't know what he. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks in the first round of this year, and you got your 26.
Doesn't look like a rebuild to me. I mean, this looks like I've been rebuilding for 3 years, and now it's time to take advantage of the fruits of my labor.
Where's the baby oil at? I completely agree.
This is a instant contender, I think. I'm instantly going to put the contender tag on this roster for the pathway. I mean, bro, think about the starting lineup right now. We haven't even added any of these draft picks. But right now we have Herbert, Stroud, Gibbs. Okay, Akers, I hear you. But we have Rice. Rice will be suspended, sure. McConkey, Trey McBride, Addison, Ayuk, and our last flex spot right now would be either Ricky Pearsall or Coker. Now, you add on to the fact that we're going to add an Ashton Genty, and then the 103, 105, 106, and 110. This is instantly a contender roster. Not even a question about it. I don't need to waste breath. This is a contender roster. It's a fantastic team put in a incredible position. Overall team grade, considering the draft capital, Badaki, is this not an A flat, A minus?
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, I was like, don't go there.
I only reserve A plus for a Thanos. This is not a Thanos. This is an A minus at minimum.
Yeah, let's put. I'm just gonna put A flat. I think draft capital.
Draft capital grade is an A plus though, for sure.
Yeah, is an A plus.
He has his first and 26 still. Has the 201 even. I mean, yeah, this is incredible. Let's break this down because this is. I mean, I think this is we're gonna have a lot of fun. Untouchables. This team does not need to sell Jahmyr Gibbs. You can definitely label him an untouchable. We don't need. We have already all the resources available to us. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is really your only untouchable. But let's also just put Ashton Genty, right? Because we know we're going to draft him. So let's just go ahead and add Ashton Genty to that graphic because he's on our team. There's literally no reason not to add Ashton to this team. Now, as far as holds, I would say Ayuk is a fantastic hold. Ricky Pearsall is a fantastic hold.
Slick Ricky.
And then as far as drops, you can drop Emmanuel Wilson. You can drop Tyler Higbee if you like. And I'd also like to hold, by the way, Jordan Whittington. I'm a big fan of him, and Malik Washington. Those are all real strong holds for me. And by the way, Chris, is this your team? It is. Awesome. Dude.
Oh, we got him in.
This is a fun team, man. Okay, so.
Wait, sorry. And Jordan Whittington, you said. Okay,
yes.
Jordan.
And Malik Washington. All great holds. A lot of wide receivers there. Like we said, Ayuk, Pearsall, Malik Washington, Jordan Whittington. All fantastic holds.
Oh, dude,
Now let's get to the fun part.
I'm so glad that you're here with us. I love when people are here with us so we can talk through it with you.
Ashton Genty at the 101. In fact, I'm not doing anything else with this pick.
We've been advocating for a lot of teams that do have the 101 to sell and get a haul because of the state of their team. But this is the first team I think we are saying you're sticking and picking.
Oh yeah.
I mean, unless you get
Bijan.
an out of this world offer.
It's Bijan or we stick and pick.
100%. So I
like
think
literally, there's not another option here because I want to build around that running back room with this. So it's either Ashton Genty or Bijan Robinson.
I mean, I'll probably do it. I'll throw like Malik in there, maybe. I'll throw Brock Bowers in there. But I get what you're saying.
Well, he already has Trey McBride.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But yeah, look, if you can get Malik Neighbors, sure.
Especially with the draft capital, the 305 and the 303 and the 305. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, at the 103, we can add. I mean, you have your pick. Have your pick of the litter here, right? You can add McMillan if he falls, Burden, Hampton, Johnson, Henderson, and you can add another 2 of those names at the next 2 picks, and then at the 110, pretty much whoever's left over, right? It's probably
another tight end, a quarterback.
You might want to sell the 110 on this team, actually. But it would be one of these options. Anyway, and basically the 201 is whoever's left over. But let's just play out this world where you stick and pick. So you grab Genty. You come back at the 103. You grab Hampton. You come back at the 105. You grab Burden. You come back at the 106. You grab Henderson. You come back at the 110. You grab Egbuka. You come back at the 201. You grab Matthew Golden, or who knows. I mean, let's just play out this world where that is the haul where you just stick and pick here. Okay, we have Ashton Genty, Hampton, and Henderson, and we're adding that to a group with Jahmyr Gibbs. Wow, you instantly have the best running back room in your league. Not even close. We're adding Luther Burden, Emeka Egbuka, and Matthew Golden to a wide receiver room that has Rice, McConkey, Addison, Ayuk. Dude, you're already probably the best team in your league after that. If not in the conversation.
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I completely agree.
The only thing I was going to say, sorry, is, again, I think we stick with Ashton Genty here. We're not going to, maximize value. In fact, I would say if you do anything else, it's trade for a vet if you want to go and, compete. And I think the 110 is where I would trade away. So, for example, the 110, you'd be... I'd like to add a veteran receiver, like DJ Moore comes to mind, to really... go on this, take this real contender tag away from your league and run with it. So again, DJ Moore comes to mind. I don't think you can get Devonta Smith or T. Higgins, but what if you added the 201 to it, and then you ended up getting in that range where you got a T. Higgins, you ended up either with a T. Higgins or a Garrett Wilson. You know what I mean? If you can add some extra oomph on top. Could that net you A.J. Brown in this economy where everyone's trying to sell him? Because you don't need everyone to be young. And the reality is you're not going to hit on all of those picks anyway. That range could really interest me. I mean, I don't think I would do that for Devonta Smith, but...
I was going to say, maybe we should do the opposite, because since he has such good capital in the middle of the draft where we want to be, I think we know we're going to be hitting on running back regardless with Ashton. So why don't we try and sell the 103 for the Brian Thomas?
I wouldn't sell Brian Thomas for the 101.
Okay. So I'm just saying, hypothetically, you get what I'm saying. Sell the 103 for a young superstar name, if that's possible, because of the depth that we have. I'm just trying to give his money option. Not saying we have to, just thinking of the opposite of that, of what you just thought. And then you can keep the 110, or you don't have to. Or you can sell that again. Do you get what I'm saying?
By the way, Chris says, I know the 102 needs running back bad, so looking at a Hampton or a Johnson based off landing spot. which means he might be available to take Tet there as well. Okay, well, I mean, look, I'm not completely opposed to it. Just what are the targets there? Let me pull up this video I made.
Yeah, I was
At the
gonna say,
103, you're looking at
what are you looking at?
Saquon, Achan,
For
AJ
wide receivers.
Brown,
Right, AJ Brown.
Marvin Ladd, Marvin
Like straight up.
yeah.
What if you
Like
add the
people
two?
don't value this class the way they valued the last year's class.
No, I get that. I was just thinking, what if you add the 201? Like, can that push you up to the Pukas? Can that push you up to the Nikos?
I don't really think so, but maybe. Sure, if you add the 201 and you can grab Nico Collins, I think that's a great idea. For sure, we can add that.
You know, I think that's.
But
other than that, like I'm not stressed about doing that move at all. I'm just thinking of another perspective of what type of young producing wide receiver can we get instead of just having. I mean, I love DJ Moore. Not saying he's not going to produce, but you get what I'm saying. Like
sure.
a now number one alpha on team that we know is going to get 18 to 22 fantasy points per game, regardless of the situation.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's definitely an option there. I just love the idea of building this young team and adding these vets that I know are going to produce with these later picks. Like I think DJ Moore's a perfect
I think that's
fit
great
there, but
I do like that. I do like those moves. So,
but at the 110, I mean, I wouldn't even mind adding like a Mike Evans to this team at the 201 or Terry McLaurin at the 201, or sorry, a Tyreek Hill. Like, I don't really mind this move either, where you're just getting a couple veterans in there, or one veteran in there that you know is going to produce for you this year. But yeah, I mean, a combination of these moves is probably what's going to end up being the best result. But I love the idea of getting DJ Moore. I think that's, I personally think he's the best fit. I love your idea as well with Nico Collins, if that's possible, for sure. AJ Brown would be, I think, another really good fit for this team. And then, I mean, it feels like I was going to start to explore like running back trades for these picks, but it feels silly with Genty and Gibbs already being there. I mean, if you can use a 106, for example, on a Bucky Irving, I think I would do that. And then have a running back room of Irving, Gibbs, and Genty.
Right. And I think that's why I was thinking about the wide receiver of trying to get a heavy hitter wide receiver using the early picks, because I know we're just going to be hitting on running backs or these young wide receivers that we hope the Luthers, the Tet to produce. But if it didn't work out with them, at least we know we had the Nikos, the Brian Thomas, if we could have gotten them.
So would you send the 103 for Drake London then?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd have to include the 201 or not, but that's another option as well. Yeah, I mean, I actually don't mind that. Like, look, if that ends up being Tet McMillan and you can somehow make that Drake London, you're basically getting what people say Tet McMillan could become.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Just has to be within that range of players, but
yeah,
I think I doubt you can do the Pukas, or I guess I didn't realize how much Brian Robinson or Brian Thomas was actually valued at.
Yeah.
Just
quickly to Tej, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but he says, quick question for the Mother Flocker. Is a monthly subscription, but the review is X'd out. Yeah, so unfortunately, guys, what we had to do is, in the past when the site first started, we kind of did it off like the trust system. Hey, if you're a monthly Mother Flocker, we assume you're going to support us and we'll give you a team review. But what people ended up doing is they signed up for a month and just canceled and got a review for a month of support. Which for us seems an imbalance of return, so anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so only annual Mother Flocker members. Hopefully that is helpful, my friend. I really want to hear from Chris.
Yeah, let us know if you have any other questions, man. And if as you're typing your questions, I'll just let you know you will be receiving the 72 Ours all customized playbook with all the information that we just built here for you. All's going to be within the Flock Fantasy message system: positional priorities, positional rankings, untouchables, holds, the whole 9 yards. You will see within 72 hours
This
in that
one's
Flock Fantasy message system.
a little bit more straightforward, but that's just because the team is already in such a clear direction. I will say just quickly on your quarterback room, I don't know if you've had any thoughts on it. CJ Stroud was my biggest sell high all last offseason. At this point, I really don't think you can sell him. I think he's a hold now. Your entire quarterback room is more of a hold than anything, and I wouldn't move Trey McBride either. He says, what is your opinion on drafting all the rookies and moving them during the 2025 year?
I think it just depends on what you can vet. I think a lot of people, like, for example, people were
Very
selling
situational.
100%. It is very situational. Like, when Roma Dunze went to the Bears, we loved it, but we knew that it was going to take maybe a year or two because of Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
So that return wouldn't be as amazing at the time. But now people are wanting Rome for pennies. Not wanting, but you're trying to get Rome for pennies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a strong opinion on it. I just think it's a case-by-case question. You know, like, there are certain players. I mean, for example, like, that was me last year with CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, the market determined that he was my biggest sell high because people had him as quarterback 1 or quarterback 2. They were taking him in the top 3 of a startup draft, and he averaged 18 points per game. People were treating him like he was Jaden Daniels or Cam Newton rookie year, and he just wasn't. So that really determined the moves that I made and the suggestions I gave. But, you know, this year, for example, I mean, Marv would have made no sense to sell in season because you couldn't sell him for a big return, you know? Or, sure, you can sell Neighbors for 2 firsts. Are you really going to get the return on that? Like, you probably still prefer Malik Neighbors. So I think it's just a case-by-case situation, really.
And some people were like, some people loved Marvin landing spot because of Kyler, and some people hated Malik Neighbors landing spot. And look how their situations flipped to be. People are questioning Marvin now. People doesn't matter who Malik has, right? Like, now now they say he's QB proof and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Chris says, I had a 103 and 105 offer for London. Stroud is more of a homer pick. Took him early in the startup. That feels like an overpay for London, personally.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's more like the 103 and the 201 is the most I'd pay. Right? Like this Nico Collins deal that we talked about. So I think if you counter with the 201 and they say yes, I'm fine with that. But I think paying beyond that feels like you're overpaying. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of a shorter review, but that's just because the answers are so clear to your team. It's a very direct and very clear exactly the direction we want to take this team, and you've done an incredible job. You should be so proud of this team, man. But please let us know if there's any last-minute questions before we go on to this next review here. By the way, T says it's pronounced Tagius, kind of like contagious. Okay, Tagius.
Okay,
Or
Tagius.
you can call me T, and I did just see Tagius sign up.
Big T.
So what you'll want to do, by the way, Big T, is you'll want to just go like you're buying a team review, and you'll have a free voucher to use, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah, take your time, my friend. All right, Chris, we appreciate you, man. Again, that team playbook will be sent to you within 72 hours. Stay tuned to the Flock Fantasy message tab, and that will be there very soon. All right, that means once Taj submits his team, that means we have one more spot for tonight. If you want to guarantee your review tonight, we have one more spot. One more person can sign up and guarantee their review tonight. We started the stream saying we have the first 4 who sign up get their review done tonight, and now we're saying 1 left because we've had 3 people fill up those spots. All right. And again, you can either become a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND like Big T just did, or you can purchase one a la carte through the Flock site, whichever way you prefer. And Chris says, would you trade the 105 and McBride for Bowers? I don't think I would. I would trade the 110 and the 201 for Bowers. You know, like if it was more like the 110 plus Trey McBride, plus the 201.
105, right, yeah. No.
I would do for Bowers, but I wouldn't. I
I mean,
pay
can you
the
get
105.
something in return instead of just doing a swap? Like, I'm happy. Look, I'm happy to tier up and get that.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. But like, I want something in return.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want something in return. Like, even if it's, I'm just want to go look at his team. Roman Wilson, Garrett Wilson, I see on his team. I'll do Roman or Garrett Wilson, actually. Anyways. Appreciate you. Let's have a look here. Who is next? It is Steel Mob 21. If this is the Steel Mob I'm thinking of, longtime supporter of us and the channel, which is awesome.
Yes, and we just got him in a league. Actually, he was on our wait list.
He was on our
leagues
our
are very difficult to get in. I don't say that because we're like cool and what's the word?
I mean, look, we're pretty cool.
I don't say that because we're like elitist or like, you know, it's like it's only a cool kids club. It's just because we only have a certain amount of leagues because we only feel like you can only run a certain amount of leagues well. I genuinely don't understand the people out there who have 50 Dynasty leagues. I'm just like, respectfully, I don't think any of those leagues are being run well. So I think we have like 12 follower Dynasty leagues, and that's about as much as we can do, man. I mean, if that's as much as we can give our attention to. And that's the limit for us to really do a league well. And we don't look. We could sell. We could sell so many. But we probably could have sold 1,000 leagues by now, if we wanted to make money off of it. But
yeah,
it's just that's not why we do it for the leagues. Slamordian Strat is his team name. He says, "Just want to see where you think I should go with this team." Steel Mob. And did he have any messages in the review section?
No, he did not.
Yeah, Tej, let me know, man. He says Motherflocker choice is way better, by the way, guys. It's like $8 more, like 6 additional benefits on top of the review. I agree. Tej says, hey guys, I'll submit the review, but can you help me with this weird picks glitch? Yeah, let me know what's going on, and I'll see what we can do for you. He says, start 11 players plus defense and a kicker, super flex. This is the 4th year going into a Titan premium. He said that in the back end, by the way.
Oh, right. Okay. 11 players super flex. This is the 4th year going into it. No Titan premium. Okay, well, let's have a look at this team. You're currently ranked 1st out of 10. This is rolling deep, so start 11, meaning you can start up to 6 wide receivers or 6 running backs. Let's have a look at this team.
He looks like, based off of the graph, a potential Thanos, but obviously we can't say that without looking at the team.
Yeah, let's have a look here. At the quarterback position, Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, phenomenal quarterback room, great depth there as well, especially in the super flex leagues. You gotta sit with that, which is good. At the running back position, James Cook, and essentially no RB2. You could have had an RB2 if Jonathan Brooks didn't still, yeah, but you have the 101, which is great. At the wide receiver position, once again, you can start up to 6 wide receivers and running backs. CeeDee Lamb, Puka, Rice, Rome, Ricky, Calvin, Jalen Coker, and the list goes on. So you do have, I think you're missing 2 other starters potentially. So, right, CeeDee, Puka, Rice, Rome, and you need 2 more other wide receivers that we at least feel comfortable with. You can flex Calvin, you can flex Ricky if there's an opportunity with, and then Mark Andrews. But the great thing about this is that you have the 101, 102, 104, 2 seconds, and you have a 26 first there as well. So I think this team can easily get those players that they need, not only at the RB2 position, but still 2 other flex options that you need.
Let's take the starting lineup for a second, right? Daniel, Stroud, James Cook, Genty, Lamb, Puka, Andrews. Then you would need 4 more, right? So that would be Rice, Adunze, Ridley, and whoever you get the 102, 104. So it's a pretty good lineup overall, I'd say. Pretty good team overall, honestly. I think this is it's not a Thanos, but it's a strong contender, I would say. And you can even put that on the pathway, strong contender, especially with what we're going to be able to do with these draft picks. The draft capital grade, he has his own first in 26. He has.
I think this is A plus.
Yeah, he has 3 firsts in 21 or 2025, including the top 3 of the top 4 picks. So I think A plus is more than fair for his draft capital grade. Overall team grade, I'm gonna say probably A flat.
Yeah, I'm happy with A flat.
Feels like that. I mean, once you actually add in Ashton Ginty and those other picks to this team, it feels like that's pretty accurate. So yeah, we'll go A flat. I'm just setting up your draft capital right now, but this should be.
Okay. I'll go through untouchables then as you're doing that. Jaden Daniels and Puka Nacua. I think you can also put CeeDee Lamb in that range. I would also put the 101 depending on how we start to build off this team.
Yeah. And I feel like this team is in a position where they don't really need to sell anything, especially in a 10-team league. So let's actually put 4 untouchables with, like you said,
exactly.
Daniels, CeeDee, Puka, and the 101.
In the 101. At holds, I put Roma Dunze, and then we can put either Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Coker, or Richie Rich, whichever one.
Let's put a Dunze Rice. I think those are 2 real strong holds.
And at the drops, we'll just have 2 drops here. I would say Dylan Bay, and I say we keep the rest. Maybe we just drop Trey Lance.
I think you can drop a ton of these receivers. I think Brandon Cooks is an easy drop. Jonathan Mingo, Curtis Samuel. You could drop any one of those guys, but Trey Lance is also an easy drop as well. So
yeah, I'll say we drop Trey Lance, and then we'll just see what happens in the offseason. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but if he gets a starting job, that'll be surprising.
So this is a very good team. Like we said, the pathway I would say is a strong contender. I think maybe you could sell a Kyler on this team if you wanted to. If you wanted to, like, let's say, tag him with a Ricky Pearsall and go get a really solid last flex option, or tag him with a Mark Andrews and go get a McBride plus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is definitely an option. But let's start with your draft capital, because you got a lot to work with here. At the 101, we're definitely going to stick with Ashton Ginty here. I definitely would not. This is not a team that we would suggest to sell Ashton Ginty or to sell the 101. Of course, if there's like a undeniable haul, I get that, but I think you're really going to want to stick and pick here. And then you're going to get 2 more quality players with either, let's say it's Ted McMillan, which is the consensus right now, and then you come back and you grab Amarian Hampton. I don't know. Like it's tough to say exactly what that would look like, but let's just play out that world. At the 204, you have a bunch of great options at, trying to hit on a running back. And then later on down the board, it is true BPA, which again will be determined by draft capital, and we will update in our rookie report. But let's just say you ended up with like Ashton, McMillan, and Hampton if you stick and pick. So we had Ashton Ginty to James Cook. We had Amarian Hampton to James Cook. That instantly makes your weakest room very strong. Then you also had Ted McMillan to an already very good room. So your starting lineup would be Daniel Stroud, Ginty Cook, maybe even Ginty Hampton. Then CeeDee Puka, Mark Andrews. Then you would need to start 4 more players, which would be Rice, McMillan, Odunze, Cook, something like that. That's an incredible roster already. Again, I don't really feel a need to move the 101. I don't really feel a need to move any of these picks, but we can.
I don't feel to move it. I think we can talk scenarios. I don't think so. The way I was thinking was that if you didn't want to go Ashton and then get a running back and maybe some 2 studded wide receivers, if you can, because of how deep this league is, this is a start 11. This is probably the only way I would do it. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to do that because of the draft capital you have.
The only other option is you sell the 101 for a Puka or a Neighbors, and then you use the 102 and the 104 on. Okay, so you sell it for Neighbors.
Yeah.
And then you use the 102 and the 104 on both running backs. So
On both running backs,
and
exactly.
Henderson and Hampton and Johnson. Like, that's the only other option. Or, you turn the 101 into Brian Thomas plus, who has Brian Thomas? I guess we can quickly look at that.
See.
Let's see. So Brian Thomas in the 109 or something, which is probably not possible, but let's say you also add the 210 to that, or the 20, the 210 to make that happen. Let's just say, like, those are the only two scenarios I'm selling the 101. Otherwise, I think we're keeping the pick, right? So, and again, I'll preface this with only sell the 101 if you decide to go double running back at 102 plus 104.
Oh, gosh, these team names are crazy. Just looking through all of them now. Gosh, that's crazy. Oh god. Anyways,
all right, no comment. But this is a great team. I mean, what I'd like to try and do is sell Kyler Murray, because I feel like he's like a middle range. I don't think you can sell CJ Stroud. I
wonder if Kyler's best to sell in season. I think we can sell Kyler. I think people really undervaluing Kyler Murray right now in the community. I'm right there with you though. I think we should sell one of these quarterbacks, see what type of value we can get.
Yeah.
Could we vet more return in season? That might be a little bit tough, or does his value full? But anyways, continue.
So I think Trey McBride would be an ideal target. For example, if you package Mark Andrews with that and you grab Trey McBride plus the 109, and then you send them as well the 210 or something,
Yeah.
I think in that scenario, okay, you lose Murray and McBride, but you are in Andrews, but you don't really need Kyler Murray on this team anyway, because you would still have Daniel, Stroud, and Darnold. Darnold would be a good quarterback 3. What you could also do is sell Kyler and attach him to a James Cook. If you wanted to, and go get a Jahmyr Gibbs or something. Like, who has Jahmyr Gibbs? Do they need help at quarterback?
Team 2.
No, not really, unfortunately. Who has Bijan Robinson? Do they need help at quarterback?
Which is the same team 4.
Right, and yes, they do. So, I mean, for example, could you send Cook and Kyler and get Bijan plus something? I'm not sure if you could get a plus, but I mean, what about adding on like Jaden Reed or something?
Yeah, like getting depth like Terry or Jaden Reed. I think those are great.
Jaden Reed, Terry McLaurin, 109, something like that. Okay, so again, Kyler Murray. Also, the other option is we attach Kyler to. Would you attach Kyler to Ricky Pearsall and go and try and target a really good another wide receiver for this team?
Yeah, I think I would. 100%.
Kyler, Ricky Pearsall. Let's look for a quarterback needy team. I mean, would you go Kyler, Ricky Pearsall for Marvin Harrison? 209?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're missing a team here again in one of these leagues. There's only 9 teams here, which is unfortunate.
That feels relatively fair there.
Would you do future picks out of curiosity?
Like what?
The Bells. They really have no one.
Okay.
But this team looks in shambles.
Okay, for the Bells is the name?
Yeah, for the Bells, future first.
And we can also send
no wide receivers, no tight ends, no running backs.
Let's try and get 2 future firsts, and we'll also send them like the 204, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
I would also. I mean, if I could also add the 210 if it really got me both their futures.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, we see your team review, Big T, by the way.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that, and we'll walk through that once we get to your team review. So don't worry.
Yeah, just stay online with us here. So sorry, we talked about attaching Ricky Pearsall to get Marvin Harrison. Is it
team?
All... Uh-huh.
Sorry, I was just thinking team. I was thinking of another team, but let's finish Marvin Harrison. Continue.
No, that was it. I mean, Mr. Meatman has Jefferson. I wonder if we could get Justin Jefferson if we attached Kyler and... I mean, would you attach Kyler and Rome Odunze and try and get Justin Jefferson?
Trying to get Justin Jefferson, yeah.
I love Odunze, but if that could accelerate this for me a little bit, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I agree.
The other route is trying to go hard after Brock Bowers. So Kyler Murray plus Mark Andrews, I think plus...
You know what I do to find Brock Bowers now besides typing? I just look for the team that has the number 1 ranked.
Yeah, that's smart.
That's just... It's always going to be Brock Bowers, no matter what.
That guy already has Hawkinson as well.
He has Josh and Patrick, though. It might be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
No.
That's not going to work. That's okay. I mean, look, Mark Andrews is already a fine option. I'd also, yeah, would you do like Kyler Pearsall and target like a T. Higgins, plus something?
Fine T. Hold on.
Like Higgins and,
do you do another... Well, there's no point of doing another running back, is there?
You could do a Higgins and Hawkinson Andrews swap. So you add Hawkinson, and then you also add Andrews. I prefer Hawkinson over Andrews. I mean, maybe you can even add like a future second onto that. I don't know if that's possible, but yeah, again, like that's the kind of vibe I'm thinking for Kyler Murray if we're gonna try and sell him. Outside of Kyler Murray, I don't want to sell Puka or CD on this team. I don't want to sell Rice. Odunze is more of a hold unless we get him in a certain package. I think that's really your main options. James Cook, I don't really see as like a sell high or anything. And then the only other thing is if we wanted to do a move where like we sold the 102 for like an established veteran. Like if we move the 102 and like I really don't think you can get a Brian Thomas, but I'll put his name there.
Yeah.
Who did I mention at the 102 in this video? I'm trying to remind myself. Would you do Nico Collins?
Yeah, I would.
If you can even add like a future second onto that or something, that's great. Outside of that, I really think this is your direction. I would really love to end up with like the Trey McBride deal I'm obsessed with. I also really like the Bijan deal I really like as well. Is there another deal that you want to highlight? Another two? Maybe the one you came up with for
the future first, yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously let's just do Justin Jefferson one.
Yeah.
So that's 4 right there.
We could also I'll unhighlight the Bijan trade just to make sure we highlight some variety here. The 102 for Collins in a future second, but yeah.
Yeah.
I like that direction.
Yeah, I do like the direction. And look, I think one thing we always say, if you don't get the value for the 101, and you're saying, oh, do I get these players? But I get like 6 players. You know, it's not about quantity, it's about quality, right? So keep that in mind. But we appreciate you and your support. 72 hours until you receive your customized playbook with all the information, all this trade, untouchables, holds, and drops all there on that document here. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, we do appreciate you. Like Badaki said, that will be there in 72 hours. All right, let's get to this trade question, and then we are moving on to the guys who have submitted today. All right, Larkspur 5858 says makes sense as a Hurts down tier full rebuild, so they get Love and Pickens. That's not enough for me. It's a one quarterback league though, but it's a start 7.
It's a start 7.
I love
It's not
Pickens.
enough.
I just don't think it really moves a needle.
No, not for me.
I think
I love Jordan Love. I don't love it.
I think a Rashee Rice for sure, and then we don't need the second back. Would you do that, Rice and Love for Hurts?
Yeah.
I'd rather go that direction, but this doesn't really move me. And I think if it was a start 10, I probably would lean this side, but in a start 7, I think that values quarterback even more, even though it's a one quarterback league. I'd rather go Rice there.
Yeah, I'd rather go Rice there as well.
All right, Booty Clap King.
Booty clap, gotta clap them. Where's that from? Booty cheeks, booty cheeks, gotta clap them booty cheeks. And Booty Clap King, let us know if you are here with us. We appreciate you, your support.
That didn't go through. That didn't go through. So
okay, no worries. Do you think?
If you're watching this Larkspur, go back like 2 minutes because we just talked about this question, but we don't think Pickens really moves the needle there. We'd rather grab Rashee Rice. But we just had like a 2-minute conversation about it if it's just now notifying you. And it's not updating for some reason. Okay. Let me try and refresh the entire thing here.
Yeah, I think if you refresh, I think it could be okay. I could be wrong though. As I'm setting up Booty Clap Kings.
Okay, Larkspur, again, if you're watching this, go back a couple minutes. We've already talked through this question, but the site had an issue submitting it. But we would rather grab Rashee Rice there. Is this going to submit? Okay, perfect. All right, Booty Clap King is next.
A little glitch in the matrix, huh?
Again, friendly reminder, we have 1 spot left if you want to get your team reviewed tonight. 1 spot left and 1 spot only. You can either become a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND, which is the best bang for your buck, or you can purchase one a la carte. Here's what I will say, though. It doesn't mean you can't sign up still. Like, if you're watching this later, that means that our queue will be completely empty. So if you're watching this later, it's still a great time to sign up because our queue is empty. You'll probably end up being the first one on the live stream next week.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at the comment section because he says he sent some comments. It's 2 points per tight end, which is great. That's showing up for us. Just traded Tua and Kincaid for Purdy and Dallas. Dallas Goddard? You think?
I'm assuming.
I'm indifferent on that.
Trying to get Loveland or Warren in the draft.
Okay, hard to trade with Blount's and Forts. The replacements Flock uses Flock as well, so if it doesn't calculate fair, he probably won't do it. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
That's fine. And 2 point tight in Premium League. All right, let's have a look at this team. Your team name is Booty Clap King.
And you are
number
number
one.
King
King of clapping booties.
And you're clapping everyone's booties.
2 quarterback start 11, 12 teams. So this is a rolling deep, meaning you can start up to 6 wide receivers or 6 running backs. For the context for the live stream, let's have a look at this team. Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. Phenomenal start so far. You also have 2 tags in the wings. At the running back position, Jahmyr Gibbs, Travis Etienne, the list goes on there. So you do need another RB2 as Travis hopefully gets elevated there with Duval.
Maybe.
We'll see. At the wide receiver position, reminder, up to 6 wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Jalen McMillan there are you starting 6 with the rest of the team there. And then, like you said, you traded away some of those players. You have Dalton Kincaid, Kate Hall, so I'm assuming that trade didn't go through as of yet.
He says he got Purdy now, which I like that trade a lot. So again, he said it was he got Purdy, or he sent Tua tags plus Dalton Kincaid,
right? And
he sent it away.
I wonder why that doesn't update.
Brock Purdy. It must not have. It must be one of those things where it takes a while for their league to process it. But he got Brock Purdy and Dallas Goedert, I think he said, or something like that. So I like that deal because you get the Purdy security there a little bit more than Tua. So I like that deal a lot. But yeah, this is a pretty good team. He's got a good amount of draft capital. Hasn't sold his future first at all. So yeah, this is a pretty decent team. Think through the starting lineup. It's Daniels, Nix, Gibbs, I guess Etienne, Jefferson, Harrison, now Goddard, as well as 4 more starters in Higgins, Waddle, Reed, McMillan. So this is a pretty good team already. He has 2 first-round picks to make some moves. Your untouchables, you've got at least 3 in Daniels, Gibbs, and Jefferson.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be 3.
And then as far as holds, I would definitely be holding McMillan. Etienne at this point, I think, is a hold, you know. You can cut Jalen Naylor. You can cut Tejan Palmer. I actually don't even know who that is. You can cut Casey Washington. You can cut KJ Osborne. You can cut Johnny Wilson. You can cut Tyler Goodson. You can cut a lot of these names. Zach Wilson.
You could cut a lot of these names. You're only going to see 2, by the way, booty clap. It's just funny that I call him booty clap. You're only going to see 2, okay?
Yeah.
And then you said Jalen McMillan and Travis Etienne, you said was a good hold?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I agree there as well. And now you can continue, and I'm just going to use the restroom.
That's fine. I think overall team grade here.
Or I'll wait for that, actually.
Daniels, Knicks, and adding the draft capital to this feels like a really solid A-. It's B plus A- because we don't have the tight end position sorted out at all. But I think a really strong B plus. It's really close to an A-. I kind of want to lean A- because the top end talent. I'm gonna say A-.
Okay.
As far as direction, I mean, there's no reason not to be a contender here. This is a contender pathway.
And what was it? What was the draft capital grade?
I'd say B plus.
Okay.
It's not the 101 or anything, but he has his future first, which is good.
Okay, cool. All right, now I'll be back.
All right, this team clearly needs some help at running back, which is great because that's really the strengths of this class. I mean, I don't even mind double tapping running back personally for you. Obviously, we have this huge tier that we keep talking about, but I would not mind at all if you ended up with like a Hampton Henderson type of situation or Hampton Johnson. I mean, you add those 2 names, Hampton and Caleb Johnson, to Jahmyr Gibbs. Etienne becomes your RB4. Then you can flex one of those rookies if need be. But it still leaves your tight end spot a little bit vulnerable. And that is something we have to recognize. You can't really tear down from these picks, unfortunately. You know. But yeah, I mean, what you could definitely use the 107 on a tight end as well, if you wanted to. You know, names like your Warrens and Lovelands, right? So those are definitely options as well. I mean, let's say you went Hampton and Loveland. I think you're still in a good spot, but you're now relying on Etienne as your RB3, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but you know, it's really not a problem, honestly. Like, if we know Henderson's going to start straight away, or Hampton, and you can grab them, and Etienne's your third, and maybe he recovers some of his value, and let's say you're really contending this year, and, well, maybe you can use that 26 first if it comes to that point, and really go get, you know, a tight end worth starting, which there's not many right now. Yeah, I almost feel like I want to target like a Jonnu Smith. Like, I wonder, could you send Kate Otten for Jonnu Smith straight up? Could you do that because he's younger? That could really be interesting. I mean, could you also do the same thing if you need to add the 406? You know, you could do that as well. I mean, could you send Kate Otten for Zach Ertz and try and address it that way? Because Zach Ertz, there's a good chance. I mean, he's talking so highly about the Commanders. There's a good chance he could come back. and just get like one of these low-end veteran starters that you feel a little bit better about with their role. Is that a band-aid for the situation right now? Because you can win a league without an elite tight end. It's definitely possible, but you have a tight end premium, and it's a full point. So I think I need to rethink this a little bit. I actually think that means we need to probably prioritize the tight end at the 107 now that I'm really thinking this through. Again, full point premium. So I actually think you probably should prioritize a tight end at the 107 now that I'm really thinking this through.
What does that look like though? Like,
it's a Warren or a Loveland.
Sorry. When I say what does that look like, I mean, what does the landscape look like for those players? Because I feel like in a 2-point tight end premium, some of these guys get pushed up the board significantly. That's kind of like what I was saying last time.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
he has the capital for both, actually. So,
well, I was gonna say, like, think about it though. Like, he's at the 105, and if
Yeah,
Tyler
he
Warren
doesn't
is
go.
gone, he knows he needs to take Loveland. But if he's at the 105 and both tight ends are available, he can still take a player and know one's going to be
and then
available.
no one's going to be available. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's
So-
good. We'll like to see who has the 106 before we even dive deeper into that, because I think that's
Yeah.
a pretty significant what if.
Oh, he has the 107 and the 111. So you don't have the 105, is that right, Booty Clap? Can you let us know? You don't have the 105, you only have the 107 and the 111? Is that correct? Because that would...
So was that just an
change
error
things.
on your end, or was that an error on our end? It's okay if it's yours, just
Or if it's ours.
or if it's ours, yeah.
Oh, you have the 106 and the 111. Is that right? You have the 106 and the 111?
Even T saying the picks are messing up. Let's see.
Okay, he has the 106
Yeah,
and the
so you did
111.
106.
Well, yeah, that means you're probably going to have to prioritize tight end at the 106. I doubt they're going to fall, you know what I mean, to the 111 in a 2-point premium. I really doubt that. So you're probably not going to end up with a Hampton, but that could push like a Henderson down the board. You might end up with like a Judkins. I don't think Ted McMillan's going to be there. But like a Judkins could definitely be a option. What I want to do is I want to send Booty Clap. Do you have some weird thing? Like, have you guys have you assigned the picks manually yet on Sleeper? Because I want to let our developers know about these two teams that aren't showing up right. And I want to do that before I forget. So let me do new post.
Yep.
Draft
Tyler,
picks.
go ahead. Tyler, man, I think there's still one more spot to get your team review tonight. If you wanted to get your team review tonight, we said in the start of the stream, we were going to review all the teams that was in our queue, and then we had 4 extra spots guaranteed for you tonight. So if you did want to sign up and get your team review tonight, obviously you know how to do that. Go into the link in the description or the pinned comment, sign up with the Motherflocker, and go from there.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, though.
I'm also going to add T's team as well to this little note for them. T says, "Oh, that could be an issue on my end. Our draft time is set, but the draft picks haven't yet." Then that's definitely that's on you guys.
That's definitely the thing. Yeah. So
That's like our system can only show what you've revealed in your league, if that makes sense, right? So
yeah, 100%. So if
But
that's the case, then it's
Booty
just,
Clap King, can you clarify for us? Can you just tell us we have individually set the picks already, or we have not set picks yet? Can you just let us know before I send this message out? Because if that's the case, if you haven't set the picks, then it will be impossible for us really to know. But anyway, we have set the picks. Okay, I will send this through then. I'll let them know.
oh, my back.
it showed that he had the 105 and the 107, right? But he actually
it
has
shows
the
as 105, 107.
106 plus the 111.
And you submitted this today, which is also like good for them to know. Like it's not like it's been sitting there and things change in the back end.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, cool.
This today. But you do, can you confirm you do have like your 26 first? You do have like all that other stuff?
Okay, great. We are going to go ahead and send that through. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Yes, Tyler. So yeah, like Badaki said, 3 out of 4 people have signed up tonight. So there is 1 spot left if you want to get your team reviewed. No pressure. Okay, so yeah, I think knowing this, you have to target Warren or Loveland at the 106.
And the 2 tight end premium.
It kind of becomes a big priority, I think. And then at the 111, hopefully a Judkins falls, you know. But also we could look at spending the one. And by the way, I'm still not opposed to going the route of a Band-Aid with an Ertz or a Jonnu. Goddard is technically a Band-Aid himself. So you don't like have to make this move, but it will definitely make an impact to your team if you get a game-changing tight end on this roster. But at the 111, I mean, instead of relying on a running back falling, there's definitely a range that we can target there. You know, like your Chuba Hubbards, for example, Banaka, we've talked about before, would be a really good target. Who does he have? He might actually already have. No, yeah, so he's got Gibbs. So yeah, Hubbard would be a perfect complement to Gibbs. Also, other names like James Cook, Ken Walker. You know, these are other guys that I think could make a lot of sense. You could go the CMC route, but you're kind of putting yourself in a window if you do. And then the 106, I mean, you could try and send the 106 for like a Laporta. Like, what if you did Laporta or the 106 and Goddard and tried to get a Laporta? I'm not sure that's really possible, but I think that is a fantastic option.
I think we were trying to use like the 104 or the 103 last time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And with the 2 tight end premium, so 106 might be very difficult.
Laporta has had a really down season, so if it's possible, I think it's worth exploring, but I definitely understand that it's probably not possible. Walker's untouchable. Dude traded 2 firsts for him. Wow. Well, yeah, nothing you can really do about that. Then we'll definitely remove Ken Walker. Why did someone send 2 future firsts for him? Okay, now looking at his team, this is not a team where we're going to suggest a tear down, right? Like, I'm not going to suggest a tear down from Daniels, Gibbs, Jefferson.
Not with the capital that you have. I think this is... There is gaps in your team in the sense of your flex positions. Like, you have the reads. Well, you have, 6 flex spots you can start? But actually, it could help because if you get...
Well, let's just play out the world that we've presented, right? So you grab a Tyler Warren, and at the 111, you grab a Judkins. Well, now your lineup would be Daniels, Nix, Gibbs, Judkins, Jefferson, Marvin, Warren. And then you would be flexing Higgins, Waddle, Reed, McMillan. So that's a decent starting lineup. Sorry, my dog is freaking out. Give me a second.
No worries. I mean, look, it is a decent lineup, and at least you have those guys. If one of these guys goes down or miss time, obviously, like the Waddles misses time, like the team misses time, it's hard to then start another person. But that's where you hope Travis Etienne then does come in. You can start one of those guys. Hell, one of these tight ends as well. I mean, Hunter Henry was somebody that was serviceable for some games, depending, especially in the 2 tight end premium league. So having a plethora of tight ends, even if they don't produce on a week-to-week basis, where you can pop them in if one of those guys do come up with injuries, you can just put those guys in.
Can I throw out one more idea that we might hate? And this might be the last real solid idea to wrap our head around, but can we talk about the possibility of using Bo Nix in a tier down for tight end? So a Bo Nix, because we already have Purdy. So like I'm thinking like a Bo Nix plus Dallas Goedert, who he has right now. Like, would you do that for Trey McBride plus something in this league? And you might not actually get a big plus considering this league.
I think it just depends on the Trey McBride quarterback room. But yeah, I mean, it would be something.
McCarthy would be perfect. We're not going to get McCarthy on top of this, but it would actually have to be like Bo Nix and his 106. And then we get McBride, McCarthy, and we're gonna have at that point we can add on something like an early second.
I think Flockett was one of the guys that he says he uses it. He uses the calculator as well.
It's
so
okay.
if it doesn't,
just an idea. Just float it by him, and I don't actually know what Flock thinks about any of these players.
Well, we actually do. We have his expert consensus ranking on the
right. But I'm just saying I haven't kept up with his rankings.
I'm gonna put this in the trade calculator and see what Flock thinks. To be honest with you.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Let's see.
Bo Nix 106.
I don't think he's gonna value Bo Nix the way we do, Mason.
Well, this is a 2 tight end premium.
It is a 2 tight end premium, yeah.
Super flex, yes. This is a 10-12 team? Is this 12
yeah,
team?
I think so.
12 team, star 4 flex. Save settings.
He has Bo Nix as quarterback 13, if that tells you anything. That's not a good start.
That's not good. Well, let's just do the 106 Bo Nix and JJ McCarthy and Trey McBride. Let's just see what happens there. Well,
he says fair trade without the early second, so I think this is doable.
Go ahead, send him a screenshot of this.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to move Nix. I really don't. But if I can get a McCarthy and I already have a Purdy, I can start Purdy. And then in a full point premium, get that kind of flexibility. I kind of like that idea. Of course, I know, again, we don't want to sell Nix, but that's another option. Like, I think if you pulled that off and then you went out there and sold the 111 for a Chuba Hubbard, I think that would be maybe your best outcome this offseason. But I also don't mind like a Band-Aid fix, like I said, like a Jonnu Smith type of move. But yeah, I don't think there's like, you can't really tear down in a trade with these picks. You're not tearing down from the 106 or the 111. We're not selling Gibbs or Jefferson. Harrison's a buy low. Same with Waddle, Reed, McMillan. I don't think there's really another move to make with this team.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other move. I think you're in the position. You just gotta hope things fall to you. You gotta hope that these 2 tight ends in a 2-point premium, which really they shouldn't.
Yeah. Well,
they both didn't go before the 105. I mean, if that's the case,
it's funny because you have to hope that these tight ends get good draft capital landing spot, but not too good. Do you know what I mean? Because
then they would easily be pushed up before your pick at the 106. No doubt about it in a premium, especially with the landscape. I mean, people who just drafted Kyle Pitts a couple years ago, just drafted Dalton Kincaid a couple years ago. These guys are in desperate need of tight ends now.
So I think that's the direction I would take it. You're in a fantastic spot. Please let us know if there's anything we didn't cover, Booty Clap King, that you wanted us to cover, because now is your time to shine, my friend. And any questions you have, we'd be happy to talk them through. But you're in a great spot. You should feel very good about this team. And I almost wonder. I mean, the 24 draft was so impactful for you in such a good way.
Yeah, man. And obviously, you heard the spiel, but everyone gets it. 72 hours, you get your customized playbook in that Flock Fantasy message system with all the customized information of your team. Untouchables, holes, positional priorities, etc., is all going to be there within 72 hours in that Flock Fantasy message system. But we appreciate you and your support. Booty Clap King.
Yes,
Clap
sir.
booties.
And again, we'll come back to this if he ends up having a question, but I'll go ahead and refresh this a little bit for us. He says, thanks, y'all. And we're now going to go to... Why didn't it... What's going on, man? I've already hit accept. Okay, here we go. Cody's offline is next. Cody, you are up next.
I think Cody is here with us. Let us know if you're here.
Yeah, and
Cody?
as far as the 104 Roma Dunze, I think the 104 is probably more valuable right now in general consensus.
Yeah.
All right, Cody's offline is our next team.
I think he's Cody Off-White on YouTube. Hopefully he's still here with us. I know he's been...
Cody White. And he will be the next team that we're reviewing here. The third to last on the stream.
Yes, and we did get our fourth one.
Yes, we did.
Which was Shuddy. We appreciate you. I feel like you got one already, which is okay. You can get as many as you want. We can play honest with you, but I feel like
he wanted to get another team review, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. I just remember his name, so I was just like, I think he did one already.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he's a yearly member.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He's
That's why I was
get
like,
another team review, which is awesome.
No, we appreciate you, but all right, let's have a look at Cody's team. There's no context here, only in the message system. He says traded T-Law Kincaid, the 102, the 201, and the 26 first for Gibbs and Bowers. Now I'm feeling great, but feeling like I'm lacking depth and I don't have any first until 2028.
This is in the message tab, right?
This is in the message tab. So he traded Trevor Lawrence, Kincaid, 102, 201, a 26 first for Gibbs and Bowers. Okay, well, let's see what your team ends up being with that trade. You're currently ranked 4th.
Sorry, I'm just putting it out visually for myself. T-Law, Kincaid, 102, 201, and a first for Gibbs and Bowers.
This is a 12 quarterback.
Kincaid doesn't mean anything to me.
2 quarterbacks.
I think that could end up being a really good trade for you, but sorry.
Especially, this is a 2 quarterback start 9. So this is meat and potatoes. This is, I feel like, one of the smallest leagues we've seen today.
Yeah, this is probably one of the small starting lineups we've seen today from like a flex perspective.
Yeah, exactly, from a flex perspective. But let's have a look at this team and see how this is going to pan out for you. Once again, ranked 4th out of 12. Baker Mayfield, Brock Purdy, Mac Jones in the super flex league. So not the strongest quarterback room, but at least you do have some quarterbacks that can get the ball down.
Yeah.
At the running back position, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chuba Hubbard, Blake Corum with nothing else really. Okay.
I'm liking the trade less. Let's keep going.
I'm liking the trade. At the wide receiver position, you can start into 4 wide receivers: Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Roma Dunze, Devonta Smith, with no one else really.
The depth is completely shot on this team.
At Brock Bowers. Yeah, and this is a 12 team when you don't have a first until 2028. You don't even have your 26 second. You don't have your 25 second. I wonder if you sold your 27 second.
I don't know what to think yet. Okay, I don't know what to think yet. If Cody's with us, feel free to chime in at any point. But let's think through the starting lineup, Adaki, because it'd be Mayfield, Purdy, Gibbs, Chuba, Neighbors, Thomas, Bowers, and then Adunze, Smith. And your starting lineup, if it stays healthy,
phenomenal,
is going to potentially get you into the finals at minimum. However, we know that's not realistic. We know injuries happen. I don't like that there's not a quarterback 3. I don't like how weak the depth is at every position, really, actually. And I don't like that we have little to no flexibility. So this is clearly windows open pathway. I mean, that's clear as day. There's no draft capital to even really talk about. The draft capital grade is an F. Overall team grade, I would put more in like a B plus.
Yeah, I think the team, the starting lineup is great.
Yes. And that's really the strength, but he recognized the depth as an issue. I would say
I mean, look, we're gonna put like
you've got 4 untouchables. Gibbs, Neighbors, Thomas, Bowers. Those are all untouchables. Your holds would be Blake Corum because I think he could develop a role for sure. I would also be looking at holding Deontay Johnson just because he's a free agent, and I think he's a good player. He's not a great player. He's a good player, and I think he can contribute. Like, Deontay could actually end up being a guy that you flex at times if he goes to the right team. Christian Watson went down with that injury. That's tough for you. You can drop Raheem Blackshear. You can drop Sky Moore. It's time to move on. You can drop you might want to hold DeMarcus in your situation, but you can definitely drop Kyle Trask. You can drop Drew Sample, Donald Parham. All those guys are droppable. Isaiah Spiller. Now, at least we have the 301. Because...
Oh, no, that's not. When Zach's saying at least we have the 301, you know it's not okay. Because...
At the 301 though,
the whole time.
I mean, seriously, you could get a good running back at the 301. Like, you could hit on a Bucky Irving type player in this class. It's just so deep at running back, you know. Like, what of these running backs falls to the 301? Your Giddens, Neal, Smith, Sampson, Scatterboo, Marks. I mean, you can even extend that out and add Jarquez Hunter, Jordan James, you know, RJ Harvey. Like, so you can, there's a chance you can hit. And if you hit, I think you're really chilling. I mean, let's also add Damian Martinez here. Yeah. So I think there's a real chance that you could hit there, but you can't rely on that.
No, you cannot rely on that.
I don't really want to do this, but I almost feel like we need to do like one tier down somewhere.
We need to sell. I don't want to do this either. Now, my thought process was,
I think if you go Bowers, you have to go McBride if you tier down. And if you go Gibbs, there's a wide range of outcome there that we could discuss.
Yes, there is.
Let's first look at a Bowers to McBride tear down. I don't want to tear down any further.
Man, this is tough. I feel like I'm in two minds. Like, I want to tear down, but at the same time, I just want to see what this team does.
Yeah.
You know, look, I want to see what this starting lineup is going to do week to week basis, but. Brian Thomas goes down and Jameer goes down, misses 4 to 6 games.
How would you feel about a McBride, Stafford, Evans, Pollard?
McBride, Matthew Stafford, Pollard,
Mike Evans, and Pollard, yeah. If you could turn Bowers into that. You sent your 410 or something.
I mean, look, I love these guys, but like, how long am I going to have Matthew Stafford for?
You have literally no quarterback 3 at all. So you'll have him this year.
No, I know. I'm just thinking like,
you have no picks in the future to flex.
I was thinking more like a 2 for 1. Like, I get McBride at a younger piece. I don't think this team, in my eyes, works. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, McBride is the only place I'm willing to tear down. And then what name are you wanting to add on to that then?
Yeah, there's no names. That's what I'm saying. This team is tough. Like,
yeah. If
this team had an Xavier Worthy, a Jameson Williams, I would be, can we try that? You know, if they had like the Jaden Reed or a Terry, I would do that.
All right, well, let's look at more options here. I think Saquon, it's the same team, and if you can manage like a Saquon McBride for a Bowers, I mean, what if we did if we went from Gibbs to Saquon? I feel like there's not a player here that makes sense. Like, you're not going to get Saquon Amon-Ra. You're not going to get Saquon McBride.
No, it has to be lower.
I don't think it's gonna work there. So let's keep looking.
I feel like it has to be like the Buckies of the world,
Yeah, let's have a
the
look at a
Tyrants
Bucky
of the
Irving.
world. So Bucky, Stroud boys, he has Bucky right now. He has Garrett Wilson. He has Nico Collins.
Yes.
Like, I'll do a 2-for-1
so
there.
Bucky Nico would be perfect.
Yeah.
If you need to add some pick to make that happen, then you can figure that out. If it's a 301 and the 410, but also Bucky Irving. Would you do it for Garrett Wilson? I feel like we need more than Garrett Wilson, but like Garrett Wilson and you can't get the 108 on top.
I mean,
what about if we add Tua to the deal and we send over the 301 and what?
we don't have depth.
The 301 and Jonathan Brooks? I don't know. Probably not going to work, but I think that's another option, hypothetically. All right, let's keep looking. You talked about Bucky. You talked about... Yeah, I'm not opposed to Kyron. I mean, what about Achan?
The Devon, yeah, team golf. That's a catchy one. Devon Achan.
How about Achan? What about Achan? Do we have a tight? Yeah, we have a tight end we love already. Would you do Achan Penix? And then you'd probably need to send something their way. But if you sent the 301 their way, I don't know. Like as a Hail Mary offer, I would do that. I'd also do Achan Olave 111.
That's where I was gonna go. Achan Olave 111. I like the Michael Penix deal, and I know he does need quarterback, but like I think I would just maybe pick up my handcuff over, getting Michael Penix and then getting more depth.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
Jonathan
That's
Taylor.
a move that you could do. By the way, pick up your handcuff, which you have Kyle Trask, I guess. But Brock Purdy handcuff.
The Jonathan Taylor guy has a 101, so I doubt he's going to be looking at a tier up. I mean, if you can get the 101 and... Would you do the 101 Waddle A Rich or something? Or I feel like the most you can get is Jalen Waddle. Maybe a future second. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm not really sure. I really like that one though, to be honest. I don't really like that one very much. Now you talked about Kyron. I'm not super opposed to it, but I
just depends on the
think
type of
it carries risk, and this team there's literally no options, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just depends on the build of their team, and yes, they don't have much.
Brees Hall. Would you do Brees and or Jacobs? I mean, this guy. Look at his wide receiver. He's not going to give you JSN. I mean, let's be realistic. I just don't think that guy's going to work. It's not going to pan out. Let's keep looking. Yeah, there's not a lot of great fits, to be honest.
This league's very top heavy. That's the problem. The top teams are the ones that are kind of demanding it. The rest falls off. Bijan, Jonathan Taylor.
Look, outside of selling those two names, I'm really not sure there's another option here. I mean, you could go like a Neighbors tier down, like a Neighbors to London.
I think this is like a weird. Look, I agree. I don't mind that trade. I'll just give you like my quick thought process on this team when I saw it. I feel like this is weird. This is like a make or break year for this team. I know that sounds crazy because you just got Jahmyr Gibbs and you have no capital. And I think that's what hurt. If you told me you had your first in 2027, I would have been like, all right, look, if you don't make it with this team, at least in 27, you can still get some depth. You can still get a first round talent. But I feel like if this team doesn't win a chip, because I'm not saying it's the best team, because there's definitely better teams out there. It's not competing, then you might as well just sell some of these players. Sell Jameer Gibbs, sell Brock Bowers, maybe sell Roma Dunze when he has more value later on. Sell Brian Thomas, but that's just my quick thought process.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much options there with neighbors. I mean, maybe London.
It's like make a break right now.
Ayuk 107, London, Higgins isn't a bad haul there if you can figure that out as well. Maybe even the 112, but
this is like the Browns. Gosh, you got Deshaun, you got Jerry, you got Nick Chubb, got David Njoku. Nick Chubb,
it's better than the Browns. This is a legitimately fantastic team. It's just there's no.
What was the team? Maybe not the Browns. I'm trying to think of a team that's like, oh, these guys are gonna be
Bengals.
contenders.
It's the Bengals because if they're healthy,
yeah. There you go. But... There you go. That's the Bengals. Yeah, you have all the positions. You have everything. Yeah.
Look, that's the direction I would take this team. I think if you are to sell, I love the Nico Irving. I love the idea personally of tearing down from Bowers to McBride, Stafford, Evans, Pollard, because this I think makes you the favorite. I like the Penix trade, so maybe I'll highlight that one instead. How do you feel about the London Higgins 203 for neighbors?
Yeah, that's okay.
Is there one you want to highlight?
A-Channel Olave, the 111. That's the one I really like.
Okay, yeah. That's the direction we would take this team, man. You've kind of put yourself a little bit in a position where you need to compete this year. So, limited flexibility. I like the starting roster a lot. It's just maybe we could afford a couple more depth pieces all around. But I think Badaki's right. Last thing I'll say here before we move on. You can definitely stick and just like stick it out. Wait to see if any injuries happen and then adjust after the injuries happen in season. But at the same time, you might have to pay more of a premium because people will know your situation. All right. Big T is next.
Big T, let us know if you're still here with us. We're going to go through your team and we'll read this context, obviously.
Cody, like we always say, your playbook will be customized and sent to you within 72 hours, my friend.
Yes, we appreciate you, Cody. Thank you so much.
Big T's up.
Big T, let us know if you are still here. And as we read this context here, let us know if anything's incorrect or not. Obviously, I know there's going to be a lot of things, but let's just have a quick read.
Another meat and potatoes, but it's one quarterback instead of super flex.
Yeah. So you basically your standard lineup here. So it says built this team very elite / young assets. I want to improve running back and try to trade. Read the 105, your 26 first, your 26 third for the 101 and my fourth back. I can detail my actual picks in the chat because the good just right. Also thought about Hurts, Marvin for May, the 102, and the 26 first. Okay, this is I can stay put and get Hampton, but Genty. Sure. Okay. Well, maybe Zach can write down those trades, and then we'll break down this team.
I'm reading again. Right. Want to improve running back, and I'm trying to trade Reed 105. Okay, right for the 101.
This is not a tight end premium either.
Also thought about her. Okay, hold on. So right, let me pull up his chalkboard here.
That's all right. He said it's not the 105, it's the 106. That's all right. Well, once again, let us know once we get into the chalkboard, and just let us know any picks that are correct. But we'll break down this team. We'll review the team, and then we'll break down the starting lineup and go through the untouchables, etc. And then we'll look at the picks here.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, Badaki, it's Reed and the 105, and a 26 first, and a third for the 101 and a fourth.
It's technically the 106 because he said he has the 106.
Oh, okay.
So unless I'm reading that wrong, but let us know. He says not 105, it's 106.
He would send Jalen Hurts and Marvin.
Jalen Hurts, Marvin for May, 102, a 26 first.
Well, I like that a lot. Oh, I don't know actually because of the Marv part of it. I don't actually know that. I actually don't think I like that at all. Actually, sorry. Let's have a look at the team. Sorry.
No, that's okay. At the quarterback position, Jalen Hurts, Michael Penix. So this is a good quarterback room, especially for one quarterback. At the running back position, Bijan, Pacheco, and the list. Yeah, the list goes on from there. So you don't have a starting a strong RB2, but that's okay. At the wide receiver position, 4 wide receivers: BTJ, London, Richie Rich, Marvin Harrison, and you still have depth with Jaden Reed, Bateman, hell, even Michael Wilson with Mark Andrews there. Okay, so that's your starting lineup, which is phenomenal.
Bro, yeah, like, again, think through this again, just one more time. Hurts, Bijan, Pacheco, Brian Thomas, London, Andrews, Rice, Harrison.
Marvin.
That is 8.
Yeah.
It's a good team. And Ted, T, can you clarify for us? You said you have the 106. What else? I don't know if you have these second rounders or what. So you have the 106. What else? Just tell us all of your picks. And Matthew, I believe the answer to your question is if there's a more valuable player on the waiver wire, then yes. If not, then no. I believe that's the answer. But if you want a really good answer, you could actually go to the site issues tab on Discord, and our devs will tell you exactly what the answer to that question is. Because I'm sure you're not the only one who's thinking it. But T, yeah, give us clarification.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we're waiting for that, let's do draft capital. Grade, so.
Look, you add Ashton Genty to this team.
You're a contender, no question.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
there's just no depth at all. And that's fine. But you're really attaching your entire future to Ashton Genty. And you also lose Reed, which was a nice piece for you. I don't know. We'll talk that through. Untouchables.
Brian Thomas, Bijan Robinson.
Yep. Holds. Marvin, Rice, Benson.
Yeah. We could do 4 here. Marvin.
And
Harrison,
probably Kraft.
Richie Rich. I want to start doing like cool, like funny things like Richie Rich, and you can put like the Richie Rich image for like Rashee Rice, but I don't know if people will get that. Anyway.
As
Marvin
far as
Harrison, Rashee Rice, who else? Sorry, I forgot. Tucker Kraft, and who was the 4th one? I apologize.
I said Trey Benson. I said
Trey
Marvin,
Benson.
Rice, and Kraft.
Okay, and then drops. I feel like there's only 1.
I think there's 2. If he really wants to clear space, he can probably drop Jermaine and Javon Baker, Jermaine Burton and Javon Baker. But
okay, Javon Baker. Okay,
yeah. After this year, Mark Andrews, you see likely taking over. He could, but Andrews was very clearly their guy. But Andrews might be traded. There's a lot of uncertainty there. T, can you please confirm your draft picks for us, though, my friend? You have the 106. What else? Do you only have the 106? What else do you have? Let us know.
Yeah, just type all the draft capital.
And it looks like you have a future first, but it's not your own. It looks like it's from Kaduring.
And he is ranked 7th. CJ Stroud, Josh Jacobs.
Tesh says he did type it in. I don't see it. All I see is him saying it's the 106.
So is that what you're saying? The only draft capital you have is the 106? If you're sending a link or something, or has like a link included, it's probably not going to show. Even an image, you're not going to let you send an image. So I know it might be annoying, but probably just best to type it out, which is unfortunate.
Or you can even type it out in the message tab on the Flock site, if that's easier. But, okay, first off, very good team.
That's all right, brother.
Yeah, sometimes YouTube's weird like that, and they don't, it's a bit of the censorship bullshit, but this is a contender, no doubt, as far as pathway.
Yeah.
And even if you look at, the standings, it's like you in the top 3 are very clearly, standing out strength-wise. You look at Breezy's pieces, I think you have a better team than him. Pretty easily. It's close, actually.
Round 1 pick, round 2 pick 9 and 10. Okay, so he has the 106, the 209, and the 210.
Okay, thank you for that, my friend.
Yeah,
that's not bad as well. I mean, you got some wiggle room with this capital. I kind of lean on the side of drafting the best available running back at the 106 rather than going all in, but it is a smaller starting lineup. So I can see the intrigue of wanting to go out there and get an Ashton Genty. But
That's it for this year. Yeah, I kind of agree. So like, just reviewing this trade, Jalen Hurts and Marvin for May, the 102 and a 26.
So think through that for a second. The 102 at best is probably Ted McMillan.
Sure.
And
I guess
you're
or
basically
Mario.
going. You're definitely downgrading from Hurts to May, at least right now in a one quarterback league. You're downgrading from Marv to Tet, and then you're having this unknown future first in hand.
But that still doesn't fix. Well, I guess it does because he has the 106. Right. Okay. So that makes sense. I wonder if Marvin is more valuable in this league because
I don't like this. I think you need
I don't
more.
like it either. I think you need more as well.
I'd like
because
to look at the May owner because I'm not far from saying yes, but I don't really like it.
I agree. I agree. I feel like Marvin in this setup, in this lineup, is really valuable, especially with you not having depth. If you're telling me you had like the Olaves, Brandon Ayuk on this team instead of Bateman, instead of Christian Watson, sure. Like, I think that's a no-brainer. But the fact that you lose Marvin, who is your fourth starting wide receiver, and you replace that with another rookie who's probably not going to produce in his first year, depending on the landing spot, anything can happen.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit more difficult.
This is where I think I would say yes, where I end up moving Hurts, Marv, and I add Pacheco, but then I also get Irving on the opposite end of that. May, Irving, the 102 in a first.
Yeah. He says, I traded a lot from Marvin, not going to lie. I just like May a lot and hoping the Patriots draft Tet for May Tet stack.
It's just a lot to bet on a hope.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, will you probably be upset trying to get that 102 and then Tet goes to the Jets? Like, people hate that landing spot, right?
And
like
the Patriots draft an offensive lineman and their first receivers in round 4 or something.
Or Tet goes to the Raiders and maybe he's, you don't like that landing spot. There's just a lot of if or buts there. But I get your thought process.
Okay, so Bucky won't happen. Then who else does this guy have? He has Kyron. So at minimum, it has to be Kyron Williams. And then the trade needs to change again. Like, it needs to go from, all right, now I'll send you Tajay Spears. And, even then I'm not obsessed with it, but it makes more sense, I think. But yeah, overall, not obsessed with the idea, but I can see the vision. As far as the other deal, okay, so you send Jaden Reed and the 106 and a first and a third for the 101 and a fourth. The third and fourth are really funny in this deal. But brass tacks, it's Ashton Genty or Jaden Reed, Marion Hampton, and a future first.
If you think about it, he's sending 2 first-round picks. I mean, not Jaden Reed is nothing, but I still think, I don't know, man. I think that might be interesting.
Can we just leave Jaden Reed out of the deal?
That's what I'm saying. You leave Jaden Reed out that deal, and you can vet more from that 101 than what you just sold it for. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm seeing.
Even just to keep Jaden Reed as like some sort of depth at all on this team.
I guess who else would? Yeah, like then do we add both seconds? That probably really means nothing, to be fair, but like.
Well, why don't we remove the third and fourth in this deal, and we will also add the 209. Does that get it done? The 106, the 209, and a future first for the 101.
Because then at the 106, we can maybe sell that for vet, wide receiver, and get you some more depth, and that makes this helps you keep your depth as well.
Think about it from this perspective, okay? Again, I know. Okay, I'm gonna sell my 26 first. My team's gonna be elite, but just think about it from this perspective for a second, okay? You get Bijan and you get Genty. What if one of them goes down with an injury? Also, Rashee Rice is going to miss time with a suspension, and we don't know what the injury looks like. So already, we can't really rely on him this year. What happens if Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely split time? What happens if Luke Musgrave comes back and takes a little bit of the role from Tucker Kraft?
That's what I'm
now you have two players that you can't rely on in your starting lineup, and we've gotten rid of any opportunity to improve in 2026 because we don't have our own first in 2026. So like this can go really backwards if you go all in. You just have to recognize if I go all in for the 101, then if I go all in for the 101, there's a chance it doesn't work out. And there's a chance that because injuries happen all the time, my team can get the injury bug. And I ended up selling that 26 first, which seems like nothing to me. I actually ended up sending the 106 and the 102 next year. You know what I mean? So that's the hypothetical you have to think through. I wouldn't be willing to send Jaden Reed in it, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, he says, I tried that exact trade with him, and he said no. So I can try again, but I switched the second to Reed. A lot of it's here. Good point,
right. Well, what else does the 101 have? Does he have a second he can send us back? I can't remember. Who has the 101?
Yeah, who has it again? Reese's Pieces.
Right. I mean, so Josh, can they? Okay. So what we'll do?
Josh Downs or something?
What we'll do is he added Jaden Reed, right? Okay, that's fine. So we'll add Jaden Reed back to it, but we're gonna keep the 209 and we're gonna ask for his 201. You know what I mean?
That's okay. We can
meet us in the middle somewhere, or we try and get Tyrone Tracy involved, Alvin Kamara, Josh Downs, Ricky Pearsall. Right, so we try and get. All right, that's fine. Can you give me Alvin Kamara?
Wait, so Marvin has the 101? You don't have the 101? So okay, so this guy doesn't have the 101.
Okay, my bad then.
The guy that no, that's fine because I guess these things are messed up. All right, so Marvin has the 101.
Okay. Marvin.
Why is that? Why does he have the 101? Like,
well,
and he says he has the 106. Anyways.
Then can we add?
Just interesting.
Can we add Chris Godwin to our side? So he wants Jaden Reed. Okay, he wants to get younger. Can you at minimum give me Chris Godwin? Give me some depth. Give me something. You know, and I don't think you had that second in there right now. I think you had your a third, and then you sent a four. You got a fourth or something back.
Yeah.
Right? Give me something. Meet me somewhere. So instead of Godwin, can we make that I mean, shoot, would like David Njoku? And you could flex David in worst case scenario. So we just got to meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But overall, like I really don't think you need to do this. I understand why you want to. I'm really happy with this running back class. I really like this running back class. And I think McMillan won't be there, but you'll get one of these three names, probably. Let's say it's Henderson. I think Henderson's a perfect addition to your team. And then at the 209, you're in a great spot to just try and hit on a running back on both of these picks, like we've already talked about. You know, I would not be unhappy if I ended with Henderson, Sampson, and Marks as an example. So I had Henderson, Sampson, and Marks to a team that already has Bijan and Pacheco and Benson and Spears. I mean, there's enough there for you to go on this run.
100%.
Still, you know. Bouteille's breakout. I wouldn't call it a breakout. I would call it a pulse. But I think it just, to me, it's just they desperately need someone.
They need somebody. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it sounds like you are a Patriots fan, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys go spend money to get a vet like T. I mean, we like T going to the Patriots last year. Is that going to be a thing if he doesn't sign with the Bengals and they draft Ted McMillan or they get Emeka and Buka in the second round? Hypothetically, right? Like,
he's a Falcons fan. That's why he's got Penix and Bijan and London. Holy shit!
Well, the reason why I asked was because he was saying like he really likes Drake May. He was trying to trade for Drake May. He really likes Boutte. So I was like, I just thought maybe he might be a Patriots fan.
The other thing I'd like to do here, Radaki, if possible, is like trade Tajay Spears for like an equivalent wide receiver. And I'd like to go to KTC. I don't really like KTC, but I want to see where Tajay Spears is ranked around. I'm imagining he's in like the 150 range. Okay, so like Jacoby Myers, that's perfect actually. They have Spears ranked ahead of Jacoby Myers. You know what I mean? Like that alone makes me a little more comfortable to go out and trade for the 101. Darnell Mooney would be honestly the perfect piece actually.
There you go. That's my guy, Darnell Money Mooney, kid. He's a Falcon.
Debo Samuel somehow is an option. Devontae Adams. I mean, this is crazy if you can get any of these. Adams, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Coker. Like, for real, if you can get any of these names, it makes me way more comfortable doing the 101 deal. Even like a Michael Pittman. You might have to add like something
I would
to
just
get
add
that
like
done. What about Calvin Ridley? This is apparently way down the board on KTC. You know, like these seem like no-brainers to me.
It's a no-brainer.
Stephon Diggs is like way down the board, like maybe 100 places behind. Okay, 50. I exaggerated.
I think he's 100 picks behind.
Anyway, those all make a lot of sense. Yeah, and again, like, you know, this is with the understanding that you do get the 101. Honestly, even if you didn't get the 101 and you drafted Henderson and 3 of these running backs, I'd probably still do that deal. I already think when you add Hampton to Bijan, Pacheco, Benson, Warren, that's enough.
I think so as well. Like,
and I really don't think we trade.
I don't think we trade the 106 personally.
For like a vet, I don't really think that makes sense. I mean, look, there's a couple names that make a lot of sense, like Bucky Irving, but you said he just got traded for fucking Saquon Barkley. Excuse my language. So there you go. So that's probably not possible, but like, would you do it for Jonathan Taylor? I would.
Yeah, I would. I like Kitchen.
Breece Hall? I would. So yeah, there's a couple names, right? T says, I know this is hoping/betting on unpredictable, but would you trade Spears for Algier? There are rumors he may move on and be a starter somewhere else. No, I wouldn't. Because
I mean,
right now, Tyler Allgeier's still on a contract, right? He's not a free agent.
I would assume the only reason why I would consider that is because he's a handcuff, because you have Bijan.
But you also could limit the outcome of your team.
Exactly.
With that too.
Of your team. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. But if that's not the case and Bijan doesn't go down or whatever the case may be, then okay.
What if Pollard goes down?
What if Pollard goes down and then you don't have, which we saw. And,
I think he has a contract this entire season. So if you wanted to make a move like that, it would probably be like January of next year or December of next year if you want to get sneaky like that and you don't get any value. But right now, I'm pretty sure Tajay is going to he's going to have a higher value than Tyler in the market. Comfortably by almost 20 ranking spots.
Yeah, and I personally find that difficult because of how strong this running back class is.
Exactly.
This is going to reset a lot of these players, you know, like the Ramondres can be irrelevant. The Chase Browns can be irrelevant, even though they have a role. Yeah. Like that's how high the totem pole is going for the running back room this year after the NFL draft. Like everything can change, which is crazy.
So just quickly, if you do a deal like this, where you do trade Hurts and Marv and you get Kyron Williams and the 102, you can definitely do the 101 trade if you do this deal. If you do a deal where you turn Tajay Spears into Debo Samuel, you can do that deal. If you turn Tajay Spears into Michael Pittman, I think you can do the deal, you know? And then, of course, if we're going to do that deal, we prefer to at least get a Chris Godwin back or David Njoku. So those would be the trades we highlight. Tej says, would you wait to do this Genty trade after the draft or try to trade now? I don't feel like you need to wait. I feel like if you're selling the 101, you wait. But if you're
Wait.
buying it, I don't think you need to wait.
Exactly.
And, there's so many different landing spots where once you actually see the jersey with the, people on Photoshop, they put the jersey on the player. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be real. It's going to be, yeah. And we always say that for the 101, if you're trying to sell the 101, you wait. But it's best to get the 101 before that hype, because that value should at the end of the day rise.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. But that's the direction we would take this team, Big T. Please let us know if there's anything we didn't cover in depth enough, or
yeah, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. If not, I'll give you a spiel just like everyone. 72 hours, you'll get your customized playbook within the Flock Fantasy Message system with everything that we broke down here for your trade. But we appreciate you and the support, man. Thank you so much. Oh, the thing. Your mic got cut off. Sorry, I didn't realize. That's okay.
No, it doesn't notify you. I think we're back. Can you talk for me?
Hello, can you guys hear me now?
I think they should be able to hear you too. But
okay.
Go ahead. Say whatever you said the last 30 seconds.
I was just gonna say. I gave you the spiel, Big T. I just said 72 hours, you can get your customized playbook within the Flock Fantasy Message system with all the details of your team within that digital graphic there for you. But we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes, and like we said, any last minute questions, let us know. We appreciate you, T. That's a fun team, man. That's a really fun team to have. You should feel proud of it. No worries, Cody. He says, I had a feeling it was wait and see situation, but great to get y'all's input. It was fun, man. You're both of these last two teams were really fun reviews for sure. So we appreciate you guys big time.
Appreciate you.
And
man.
I think I think it's a bit of a success to just say, hey, we can do your team today on Fridays. Maybe we'll try that more often. But
yeah, we should definitely try that. I think it's great. And I think the next one we do have,
our last one of the day,
is Tyler.
Tyler, you in the building, Tyler?
Let us know you still here, brother.
What about Rice and 2 firsts for the 101? No.
What was the question?
That's a hard pass.
What about?
He says, what about Rice and 2 firsts for the 101? That's a hard pass for me. But I have Rice ranked as a top 12 Dynasty receiver. So, yeah. Is Reed valued higher than Rice? I have them in very different lights personally in my rankings. Like I have Rice as my wide receiver 11. And then I'd have Reed as wide receiver 33. No worries, T. Appreciate you, man. All right, Tyler's here.
Tyler is here. I think Tyler was our second. I'm looking at it right now. Is this the same team, Tyler? Did you make some significant trades? Which I'm pretty sure we can pull up, Zach, if you just go to the drive, go to team playbooks, and then go to, obviously, finish exports, and go to number 2.
Hold on. Drive, team playbooks.
And then go to,
exports.
I think it was in 2024, technically. It was in December. Hold on, let me just see if I can find it for you. Actually, it might be November.
November. I don't see it in January. Was it November?
Yes, that's it. This is his team.
Okay, cool. This will be fun.
Let us know. He says,
"Oh, November. It happened in November."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Before the fantasy. So
playoffs. this was before the playoffs, and let's see here.
It was Windows Open, Middle Ground, Pizza the Hut. It was more of a final way to win championships or need an off-season outlook. Okay.
Yeah. I wonder. Oh, wow. Look, we suggested to get Bucky Irving for Tucker Kraft, which you might have been able to do in November.
How crazy is that, dude? Hollywood Brown plus a second for Tracy or Hubbard. You can't do that now for Chuba. I wonder if he sold that. He had like a long-term contract extension by then.
Yeah.
He said, "Bucky, I messed that up." Did you have that in your
No,
inbox?
Anquan, we've been answering. I think we've answered almost 100 regular questions today, my friend. Just we can't focus on you when people have, prioritized us so heavily by supporting us through the website. We're going to give them the best review possible, my friend. But no, we don't only answer reviews, but we also can't just answer the entire chat while we're trying to prioritize the people who have supported us financially.
Let's have a look at your team, man. A nice little updated version. I think this is.
I want to
fun. This is
know.
the
I
first
want to
one.
know what he did. Since we reviewed, can you tell us what trades you made? And I'm just curious what action you took from the review and how it panned out or not. Right, because it doesn't always pan out. Or where. But anyway, sorry, go ahead. So it's last time we said what? We said Windows open last time.
It isn't Windows open. Yeah. By the way, let us know because I know.
Oh no, he could have traded the 202 for Bucky.
Yeah. Since I ended up holding and didn't make any moves.
That's okay. That would have been awesome. When we were right there. That's okay.
That is okay. That's all right. Okay. You're currently ranked third out of 12, which you were ranked first out of 12 at that time. Not sure what changed.
Probably just players aged a little bit, with Evans and Tyreek and
rankings. I mean, obviously, some of these. Yeah, you're right.
Monty lost a little bit of value with that,
Okay, so let's have a look at this team here.
I see your trade, Anquan, and what I'll do, my friend, is after we review this team, I'm gonna get to that. Okay, if you can hold on with us.
He said won the championship last year, which is great. Also, this is an Empire League. Wondering what I can do to repeat it, or if I should retool a bit. Appreciate it. All right.
So just to clarify, some Empires are different, but it's if you win twice in a row, the league resets. So he's in a position now where he won last year, and if he repeats, the league resets. So we said he's Windows open, and honestly, I like most of the ideas we sent out, especially those third and fourth ones. Those are perfect. But yeah, I really like this. This is fun to think about. Trying to end the league, basically. He says yes, it resets only 2 though, so second pot isn't as big. Okay.
And did you guys add a flex? Because this is start 10. And last time it was start 9. Unless
two quarterbacks start 10. Right, so it's middle ground now. What was it then? It was middle ground then.
It was middle ground then, but now I'm assuming it's going to be
I don't think anything changed.
No, start 9 is meat and potatoes and super flex.
Yeah.
It was always saying, okay, maybe that's just see?
No, what are you saying? Because it was middle ground last time.
On the thing it says start 9 on the document, so maybe it was just a wrong an error on my end, and then on the thing it says start 10, so that must have just been on me.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
That's okay.
All right.
Anyways, let's have a look at this team. Then.
Pizza the Hut.
Yes, Pizza the Hut, and Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, decent quarterback room. Just middle of the pack right there. At the running back position, Monty, Tony, Rico, Isaac Horrendo, which probably really helped you when CMC went down. Of course, Rico was the guy there. I mean, Monty was doing well for the first half of the season until he got injured. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Lam McConkey, DK Metcalf, Tyreek Hill with Mike Evans, which is also great with George Kittle, Tucker Kraft. And you have the 110, the 202, the 210, and so on and so forth. Okay.
All right, think through the starting lineup right now. Kyler, Baker, Monty Pollard, Chase, Jefferson, Kittle, and then we can start up to 3 more players. Lad, Metcalf, Hill, Evans. It's already a good team. You're definitely struggling at running back. In fact, Bucky would have been the perfect piece. I know we can't really go back and think about that now, but Bucky would have been pretty perfect for you. Good depth most places outside of quarterback and running back. Decent draft capital for a champion. I will note he doesn't have his first in 26, so this is definitely windows open. It would have already been windows open with the age of the roster, but it's definitely windows open. We already won. We want to go back and repeat. No first in 26. Your untouchables are still Chase Jefferson, holds. Isaac Harindo is a hold I like. Tucker Kraft is a hold I like. I don't really want to hold another running back on this team. And then as far as drops, you can drop Davis Allen. I was with you. I had some hope. He's a nothing burger. You can drop Craig Reynolds. You can drop Nick Mullins, Taylor Heineke. Those guys are easy drops. Overall team grade. What did we give it last time? A B plus.
We gave it a B plus.
I'm kind of there again. I almost would maybe lean B flat because some of these veterans have kind of, you started to see a little wear and tear. Maybe Mike had an injury and Tyreek wasn't the same, and DK fell off a cliff, and Monty went down with the injury, and Kittle's another year older. I kind of lean B flat with the quarterback 3 situation.
Okay.
As far as draft capital grade, you got multiple seconds, which was good, but no first and 26. So I got to be a little harsh because we can't rely on that capital in the future. Last time out, we gave your draft capital a B. And I kind of lean B minus now. Maybe even C plus without our future first. What do you think? Because it's a late first at best and no first and 26.
Yeah, I'm assuming once again, unless it's a mistake on my end, but I'm assuming you sold your first last year, unless we just, I would just say B minus.
Okay.
Because he has his first here, so I think that kind of evens out, and he has an early second. So I think that evens out right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's think about these draft picks. I think first things first. You could definitely use help at running back. I think running back is really your most desperate need. And unfortunately, I just don't think you're going to have an option there. Like, I think tight end is probably going to be the easier fit. Like if Judkins falls there, fantastic. But I have a feeling it's going to be Loveland and Warren, which honestly is not bad. I mean, you could grab those guys and you could sell them for a running back, or you could sell Kittle for a running back if they ended up start breaking out. That's an option. At the 202, you're kind of left with whatever's left over. So let's just say you end up with Colson Loveland, and then at the 202, it ends up being Matthew Golden or something. Like if that was the outcome, you could then try and turn Kittle into an RB2. If you could package, let's say, Kittle and Pollard or something, and really try to find a better RB2 solution. At the 210, it's kind of the same area as we talked about in a previous review, where you just really want to hit on a running back. You want to find the Bucky Irving of this year, essentially. Right? So, in an ideal world, at least in my ideal world, you actually land Judkins or one of these running backs we really like at the 110. Now, alternatively, because we are in a window, we can try and sell that 110 for a vet.
That's kind of where I lean, which I like one of those 110s for a vet running back. And I think if you reference your video, I think the Chuba Hubbard, the James Cooks, obviously, you're already writing it down. Kenneth Walker, there you go. I mean, it's just all there already, and then you don't have to worry about you sucking RB2.
Now let me ask you this:
Montgomery and James Cook.
This feels like a perfect team in my eyes. I know we see CMC differently, but it seems like the perfect team to go get CMC. In fact, I would do the 202 plus something for CMC. Who has CMC? Are they looking to rebuild? Do they have, a team that is down in the dumps? I'd say yes, they're looking to rebuild. So what if we offered them... Okay, they have the 204 and the 304.
I would say this. I like where you're going. I wouldn't want to give up my 110. I would do the 202 max.
That's where I am, though.
Yeah, just a 202. And if I had to get it done because it's the name value, I'll do the 202 and the 210. Like, to get it done.
Yeah. Plus a 210. I mean, you could also ask for the 210, but can they give you back the 304? Right? Yeah. So I think that might even be like a happy medium place. But I really like that a lot for this team, especially if you're trying to go back and repeat. I'm a big fan of buying CMC as a contender, as you may have seen in videos or in some of these reviews. And
Tyler said they're looking, but I think he views CMC too high. But I can try. That team also has my first. Right? Okay.
Yeah, so they wouldn't be incentivized to really give you a better team, but it's worth asking. But yeah, again, you're right. Like, they wouldn't have any incentive to make your team better now.
No,
is there other players there? Like, could we do that same package for Derek?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, can we do the 202, 210, Derek Henry? What about the Joe Mixons?
Well, what does the Derek Henry have in picks?
Let's see, Derek Henry.
They have nothing really, but what could you add, like a Diggs or a AOC or something, Diggs is very undervalued right now based off what I've seen.
Or you can just do like the Blake Corum add-on.
Or yeah, Corum. Anyway, something to make you feel a little better about it. So I think all those are really good options to... honestly, I think best case scenario is you use a 202 to get CMC or Derek, and then you use a 110 to draft a Judkins or trade for one of these players.
Yeah, I'm honestly okay with that. I think that makes me the happiest. But what makes you happy, Tony? So that might be a good idea. I can see the owner getting rookie fever.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Rodgers is worth nothing, and you hope he starts so you have a quarterback 3. I'll be honest. He's worth nothing. You hope he starts. Rico Dowdle, I would take any second in a year. Honestly, I mean, I might even take, like... Can we find a team that has a late second here, but I can maybe get a little more ammunition?
Darth.
That needs running back.
Yeah, Darth. He has a 202.
He has a 212. I mean, yeah, actually, you know what?
Yeah.
212. That I would be so happy with that from that team. Like, something like that is what I'd be looking for.
Yeah. Same thing with Rebel Lions. He needs some better running back. I don't know.
And he has the 211. Yeah, I'd be totally fine with that. Okay, yeah, and on his team, Rico, I think Isaac's a whole. Devin's not worth anything. You really don't want to sell Metcalf, Hill, and specifically those two, because number one, their value's at an all-time low, and number two, you're trying to compete anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't sell Kittle or Kraft right now on this team. I think that's the main direction I'd take it. You really don't need to add a veteran wide receiver. You've already got enough. So if you're going to use those seconds for vets, I think it needs to be running back. I mean, the other idea is, could maybe turn DK into a running back. You could, but you're going to sell him at a discount if you do it. DK really needs. Imagine what you could have sold him for in the first 4 weeks before he was injured. I think he needs to recover his value before you move him.
Yeah, I'm just not sure anything that you can do.
which you could still do in season, but I think he needs to recover the value first.
I think worst case scenario, like if you are worried and let's just say you can't get any of these deals done and you do want to compete to try and win the chip again, maybe sell one of Chase or Jefferson for a huge package and get multiple pieces. Like once again, that's like if everything goes to shit, you know.
I don't think I would
really
do
wanna
that with
do
this
that.
team personally.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying even then I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't move him in personally with this team, but I can see your perspective. The only other thing I was going to try and address was quarterback. Like if you use the 202, I'm curious what that could net. Like what does even KTC kind of show us from like an early second?
I'm assuming I would have thought like the Russell Wilsons, the Justin Fields.
Darnold?
I feel like Darnold, once it's Darnold before the signing, maybe.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. I've been talking about Dak Prescott all offseason as a buy low. So if you can send the 202 and the 210 for Dak Prescott, that would be perfect. I think those are really your two options. But yeah, I love the CMC deal personally. I like the Dak Prescott deal if it's where you want to spend your assets. I think running back's a better place to spend it. There's two you want to highlight.
I like the 110 for like the James Cooks.
Yep, that's a
I
great
think
one.
that's really fun. And let's do one of these like Derrick Henry and Blake Corum, which I really like.
Yeah.
As well.
All great options. But yeah, I mean, essentially every move we're making is
it's helping you improve your team,
helping you maximize the window.
Tyler said Jar Jar would give me Bijan plus or Justin Jefferson.
That is interesting.
Let's see Jar Jar's team. He has
London. Are you saying he would give you like Bijan? Like what? Like would he do like Bijan, Devonta?
What? Yeah. What is the plus? What do you think the plus?
He offered Bijan and Flowers. Interesting.
I think we can squeeze Devonta there. To get Devonta, what do we need?
Yeah, I mean that is definitely piqued my interest.
Would you just do a massive haul and do Bijan the 110 for Drake London, Bijan, and something? Should we go? Is London asking for too much?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you do Jefferson and the 110, like this is where you're going for Bijan, London, and something like Zay. Zay would actually be the median
honestly,
point there.
I would say to get it done, even if he says I need a little bit more, I'm happy to throw a second at him. Obviously, you start at the 210, like to get that done. At least that's what I would do. I would be okay with that 210, or if he really wants the 201. Okay, well, I can do Zay Files, but he needs to throw me something small again, or a pick swap or something. Oh, he has a 301.
Yeah, well, what you could do is you could add the 201.
They also have Darnold.
And instead of Zay Flowers, you can make that Devonta Smith as well.
That's actually true. Yeah, they also have Darnold.
Yeah, but they're not going to trade Darnold because look at the roster. They need Darnold. But
yeah, you're right.
The other idea is you can take it further. You can add the 201 to the deal, but you add Devonta Smith instead of Zay. Yeah, honestly, I really don't dislike this at all. I mean, I'm kind of obsessed with the idea of a Bijan, London, Flowers. And if it were to be Jefferson for Bijan and Devonta Smith, I'd be fine with as well. Or you could even go this route, Badaki, where you go Bijan plus a future first and then you give them Jefferson and like the 202. Is that what we have?
The 202, yeah.
Because it's a bit more risky, isn't it? But and maybe they add. What do they have again? Oh well, they add the 301, right? That I think could be the ultimate equalizer, but I accidentally exited out of his chalkboard, so let me pull it back up. Where is
No,
it?
Tyler says, do you guys like Smith much more than Flowers? I think what's interesting to me is that Devonta Smith is always going to be a wide receiver 2 on that offense, but Zay Flowers is never going to be the wide receiver 1 that we hope that he can be, if that makes any sense. So I think they're really close in my rankings.
Yeah.
Let's see where they are on Keep Trade Cut, actually. Let's see. They're actually back to back in the rankings on Keep Trade Cut. Devonta Smith, wide receiver 19, Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Devonta Smith, wide receiver 18, Zay Flowers, wide receiver 19. So
I think I am pretty low on Zay then. Love the player, but I have Devonta as wide receiver 18. I have Zay as wide receiver 24. So that's not too low. But Zay is just like, he's an incredible player, but for fantasy, it feels like he's the definition of mid. And it's just being attached to this offense. You know? It's just like being attached to this offense is just a killer. I still dream about these guys, Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman, being drafted by other teams. But he went from averaging 12.9 points as a rookie, Badaki, to averaging 12.3. He regressed. And he didn't do anything wrong. This offense just, it's not fun for wide receivers. But anyway, that actually is, like, honestly, the thought of that Bijan deal where you get London as well is honestly getting me really excited. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's great.
What's up, Matt? He says, how much is a team review without buying a playbook? I'm going to grab the playbook on my next paycheck, but would like a team review to start some talks now. Well, our team review is our playbook, right? So when you can either become a yearly member, which is what we would suggest. When you become a yearly member, you get our rookie report, right, which is up on the website. V1's already up on there. You get all the rankings and the prospect model, the My Teams feature, the trade calculator, all the premium tools you get, and you also get, your personal playbook and review. I think that's the best bang for your buck. No question about it. You also get discounts off any future reviews you do anyway. But if you're gonna buy one outright, if you're not a member of anyone, it's $79 for the offline and $89 for the live. So those are your options. But for example, like a member gets 30% off those prices anyway if they want to get multiple reviews in the future. But yeah, so if you wanted to get an offline version, it'd be $79. Obviously, no pressure, whatever suits you best. Some people want the offline version because they don't want their league to see it, but it's just $10 more to prioritize yourself on a live stream. But you do the math. If you're a member, then this price would actually be $62, so it comes down a lot. But of course, you have to sign up for a yearly membership to get that membership price, or you can become a monthly member and buy one outright, whatever you prefer. So anyway, hopefully that is helpful. Tyler says, I'm a Birds fan. I love Smitty. Wasn't sure worth giving up the extra. You probably are right. I'm probably a little bit off base there. But honestly, Bijan and Devonta Smith probably would be hard for me to say no to.
Yeah.
Bijan and Josh Jacobs, by the way, would be like the biggest smash, except last thing. And you give him your 210 or some shit. There's definitely a deal out there for you. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's it, unless Tyler has anything.
Yeah, Tyler, obviously the spiel, 72 hours until you get your playbook, you customize with all the updated information, which is awesome. You already had one from us, but we really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for signing up again. Huge support with us, man. Thank you so much with all of that. And great team.
Yes.
Great team.
Very kind. All right. I told Aquan that I'd answer his question here at the end. He says, no, that's totally understandable, dude. Just wondering. I recently made a trade in my Dynasty League, sending Rashee Rice in a first for Puka. I'm indifferent. Like, I think if that ends up being a mid to late first, you definitely want it. You know? Definitely want it. Andrew says 110 and a second for T. Higgins. I'll take T there.
Yeah, I'm okay with
114 and the 208 or James Cook.
James Cook.
Tyler says, appreciate it, fellas. I took over an orphan. I got a load of capital, so I'll send that one when my annual subscription renews. And that sounds fantastic.
No worries. That should be in a couple months, I think.
All right, guys. We appreciate you. Last question on today's stream. We've been live way too long, so this will be the last question. But Connor says, what to do with Kyron? I got Brees, E.T., and Connor as my running backs and an 8-man. Wide receivers are Lad, Devonta Smith. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to attach Kyron to like a Devonta Smith and go out there and get an Amon-Ra level player. You want to go out there and get a Neighbors, you know, somehow find a way to get a CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do with a name like Kyron.
You want the best of the best.
Yeah. That is it, guys. We appreciate you big time. By now, if you've been watching this, you know how to get your team reviewed. And honestly, it's a perfect time to do it because let me show you. This queue is cleared. This offline review is already done. We'll send it to him in 72 hours. But the queue's empty. All right? And this is the first time the queue's been empty since November.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
So it is a great time, great time to get a review in. Again, you can either become a yearly member or you can get one a la carte. But that is going to be it, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you soon. Video is already out. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace. Hopefully more content comes out soon. Looking forward to it. Hopefully Higgins' love is increasing. I feel like I do like Higgins, but not as much as you. And I can see that. But that is it, guys. We appreciate you. Have a good night. All love.
Love.